And we're back here once again with another episode of the Cloud9 podcast, season 13, episode 8. So if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this episode of the Cloud9 podcast if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in this episode of the Cloud9 podcast, we will be talking about the other two best of fives from the 2024 League of Legends World Championship. We already did an episode covering LNG versus Weibo. You guys should go and check out that episode. And in this episode, we will be covering Hanwha Life Esports versus BLG. And then we will also be talking about T1 versus Top Esports. We'll also get a little bit into the 2024 League of Legends offseason news because it has been absolutely insane. So I hope you guys have been enjoying these extra episodes of the Cloud9 podcast because as you guys know, after the World Championship ends, we can definitely stretch out a few more of the episodes as the year, closes to an end. But there will be a point where there is no League of Legends. So we're going to just have to wait to give you guys more League of Legends content when the season starts coming up in 2025. So the reason why we are definitely giving you guys more episodes right now is because eventually we won't really have anything else more to talk about for League of Legends until, you get some more League of Legends gameplay, which will be at the beginning of 2025, like I just mentioned. So also, I know you guys have been really enjoying these Worlds episodes, and I just want to say thank you so much. It's been a blast giving you guys this extra content. So that's why when we, take breaks and everything, it's because of situations like this and having that little nice extended break when the season is officially over and we know the rosters for next year going into obviously 2025 will be fully rested and ready to just go in once again. So joining me here in this episode of the Cloud9 podcast is Mr. Blanks. What's up, man? How you doing? We were actually going to do this episode yesterday, but I figured, we can just wait for a T1 Top Esports banger, which I guess was a banger for T1 because Top Esports just didn't show up at all,
They showed up game one, got the back cracked, just obliterated. 15. Who the fuck killed Top Esports? And then it took them 15 minutes to get a kill in game 3. I'm like, guys, are you awake?
Like they showed up in spirit. They were physically there,
Yeah.
But I don't know if their brains were there.
Tia, he's probably thinking about his 1v1 versus Dom. I was like, dude, don't worry about Dom, man. You gotta worry about Owner. He about to own you. He lived up to his name because he owned Top Esports. He saw he T1 remember Top Esports beating up in the first game of Worlds. They was like, oh yeah, we're gonna come back to clap you.
Might need a little bit of revenge on that one because people forget. One of the reasons why I picked T1 to win was because Faker. I even sent you the graphs. Remember, Faker has never lost in a quarterfinals match ever.
Not even Faker, just T1 in general. I mean Faker, yeah, but T1,
Faker is T1. You son of a bitch.
I know, but like T1 in general. Faker, T1, they have not lost.
They've never, for Worlds, they've never lost in a quarterfinals matchup ever. Still to this day, the only time where they were close to losing a quarterfinals matchup was against Misfits Gaming back in 2017. That's the only time they ever were very close to losing. But other than that, they've won every single quarterfinals matchup, like pretty much just actually ass-fisting everybody. I remember if you go back and watch AHQ versus SKT
I saw
back
that
in 2015, one. That's a fisting in a level that I don't think I've seen in a very long time. And people forget that could have been Cloud9 because Cloud9, if they had beaten AHQ in that tiebreaker match, they would have faced SKT. And yeah, seeing Sneaky get his ass fisted by Bang was not.
Bang was Bang sneakily. They sneaky. That's all like movies, on the late night channels.
Yeah. Well, because before we go over Hololive and BLG and T1 and Top, it's something crazy that at Worlds, like T1 can just glow up like that. They looked horrible in LCK. They were looking rough, rough.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because that's the same thing with certain teams like NBA, like the Miami Heat last year when they got to the finals. Them motherfuckers looked like dog shit, and they barely got in the playoffs. They were an 8 seed. 8 seed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The motherfuckers look. You saw like there are certain teams that they know they gotta do. They know they gotta do enough to get in. They know KT's weak. DK catch you on an off day, game 5. Mm-hmm. But then again, DK's weak as hell. Everyone knows, T1 is the 4th seed, but you know who's really the 4th seed? DK. Yeah. DK don't make it out again.
Yeah.
The fuck?
DK's the only Korean team 2 years in a row not to make it out with the other LCK teams. Only team. Yeah. And what's also crazy is Hololive actually, I would say, got better as the year progressed. Keep in mind, Hololive looked really janky at many points in the year.
Hololive was always competing with T1, but T1 just turned it on.
Yeah.
The summer, this is what happened. T1 regressed, but they were also burnt out. I think T1 got burnt out. I think too many freaking games.
Remember, they won Worlds last year. Immediately went to that Red Bull Gaming bullshit tournament.
That was some bullshit. And then
they're literally facing ERL teams on stage.
And the fucked up thing about it, there was a thing where they could have done it the next day, but the European people wanted T1 that day. They could have had G2 and other teams face each other before they get to T1. It was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. If I'm T1, I'm not doing that shit again. They can suck my dick from the back.
After that, you have the spring split. Then you have the playoffs. They made it to the finals, obviously. Yeah. And then after that, you have MSI, and they make it obviously top 3. And then after that, you got to go back to the summer split, play a summer split, leave the summer split, go to EWC. They actually won EWC, got back, and then
beat
basically
beat
Top Esports there too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And to be fair, Top Esports actually won a game in that series they played against them.
In total, total T1 is what, 6-2, I guess?
6-2. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because
they didn't play at MSI.
Yeah, who's it was G2.
They got knocked out by G2. That was nothing I was going to bring up.
Breaks off their ass.
They actually beat them almost in the same dominant fashion that T1 did today.
Oh no, it was the same. The only thing is Top Esports. Top Esports was competitive all 3 games. They just I don't know what the fuck happened. Whew. This series was not competitive.
I just find it so weird that both of the times they get blown out of a tournament, it's by G2. 3-0. Clean.
Yes.
Just get the fuck out. And then today, both of the biggest tournaments of the year, MSI and Worlds, they lost 0-6. They didn't even get a game of either team. So that's why I told people that G2 roster, when it all came together, they were really good, actually, surprisingly. And they definitely, because we know it wasn't just a bad day for Top Esports. There are days where they do not perform very well.
Oh, yeah.
They had it against obviously BLG consistently, where in sometimes during the year they were favored to beat BLG, but they couldn't do it. They lost to Weibo, guys. Weibo got a free finals this year.
Yep. And the reason why Top Esports got a second seed is because of points.
BLG beat Weibo. Yeah.
BLG beat Weibo.
That's secured them because they had the spring split finals. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And that's what secured Top, because if they went by record, Top Esports would have been 3rd. Technically, LG, I think LG would have been 5th. I think JDG might have finished ahead of them. They went by points. But LPL is some weird shit.
You know what's kind of funny? I remember,
yeah,
because we were talking about the LPL earlier this year. Do you remember a point of the year where Weibo in that second stage hadn't won a single series at all? They went like 0-4.
Oh yeah.
A team that straight up went winless, got to the finals. Crazy shit.
That was the same thing with Ninja. Ninja was 0-7, and they were one game away from getting top 4.
Yeah. They were legit, one win away from getting to Worlds? Crazy.
Yep. After being 0-7 in that tournament shit, whatever. 0-7. I think it was 1-7. It was away. Ninjas looked garbage. JDG looked like shit. Weibo was drunk.
I just don't get it, man. Like, the top esports roster looked a little bit better than BOG initially. It is. But Cream never shows up when it matters. In matches where he has to advance, he doesn't show up.
And you said
it's not like he's bad. You can tell he's definitely a talented player. Like, what's going on with this guy?
And you said it. He got mid gap twice. He got
gapped by Caps.
Caps put a cap in his ass. Like, literally just put a whole cap in his ass.
I was that choking? I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know what's happening.
I would tell you, because he never had to face that pressure before.
Because remember he was on OMG and no one talked about
oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's why anytime they beat a good team, I was like, how the but that's the sad part. That's why when he got there, when they got to the finals of the World Cup, I was like, how the fuck? That's why I was like, how the fuck did they beat Genji?
Yeah. And well, it's revealed in that, that Reddit video that Dom did. The Genji players were practically forced to go to EWC. There's a good chance they didn't give a fuck at all, honestly. Because Chovy was picking Wei, and I'm like, when has Chovy ever played Wei? Like, that's just troll.
Hey, remember I told you.
Man was point blank missing his severing.
Remember I said this. Genji just wanted to go home. Some of these teams did not care to be there. It was one of those, okay, let's take whoever went to MSI and just bring those teams. That's what it was. Because honestly, you could have took FlyQuest out and put Cloud9 if you wanted an actual brand name, but you're taking whoever was successful. Because brand name wise, I don't know if you bring Genji. You might bring KT or DK.
Especially if the players didn't want to go. Well, it's just a waste to go if they don't want to go. But to be fair,
T1 didn't want to go, but T1, T1. I feel like T1 was obligated to go. It was one of those, you gotta go T1, and then they end up winning it. You're like, oh fuck, okay, and.
But man, do you know what's really crazy about this?
Yeah,
is that so outside from MSI. If we're talking strictly Worlds, T1 consistently beats the first seeds. I showed you that graph.
Yeah.
They beat the first seeds, the winners of the splits. Like, for some reason, at Worlds, Faker just turned into a Super Saiyan.
And crazy thing is, too, Faker never lost to a Chinese team in Worlds. MSI,
Ever.
MSI, yes, but never Worlds.
Yeah, if you just at Worlds, he
lost to more European teams than Chinese teams. Because every team that beat him has either been European or Korean.
Yeah, the only times he's lost in semifinals was to Damwon, which they
who ended up winning.
No, they lost to EDG.
Oh, sorry, 2020.
They're on the same bracket that year. That was when they had Kana instead of Zeus before they had Zeus next year.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no.
And then he lost to.
I'm thinking about 2020. T1 didn't make it that year. T1 didn't make it in the 20s.
2017 Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, he made the finals and he lost there. Yeah, crazy.
In 2022, they lost to DRX.
Lost to DRX too. Yeah.
It was always Korean
one
teams
game.
that beat them.
They were one game away from being 5-time world champions.
In 2019, they lost to G2.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they lost to semis to G2. Yeah. If they had beat DRX that year and then they won in 2020, they had 4 fucking world championships. That's crazy.
That's the thing too. I don't think they go back to back if if they lose if they win in 2022, I don't think they have the same team in 2023 because contracts were ended. You gotta realize they've been playing. Because I went back and
this is 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, he came in 2022. I forgot because I went back and watched the 2021
Kirby
series.
has been there for 3 years.
I was like, how? This motherfucker, he's like, what, 20?
Yeah. Because keep in mind, Guma wasn't their starter. They had Teddy before.
Yeah.
And then they played Ted. So Teddy lost a game at Worlds 2021 with that 100 Thieves group with EDG. And then after he lost that game, Guma's played every single one of them since then.
Yep.
And he was honestly, I was like, this guy is so talented. Yeah, I liked Teddy, but Guma was like, pull dick out.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord. But that's just goes to show you how adaptable T1 is. And people say, oh, they definitely do adapt to how strong those teams are. There's just no way it's possible now. The problem coming up now is that we have an ultimate pinup matchup with Faker versus Chovy. Now, I want to point out here.
I'm going to say potentially only because shit can happen. I don't think it will, but you always got a two matchup.
Hypothetically, let's say Genji.
Because I got banned in the chat because I said, "Shock, how you gonna forget Fleck with you?" I kind of trolled it in.
They called her a bitch, didn't you? You heartless man.
I said that. Plus, she looked good in that dress. They were banning.
Okay, I'm pretty sure she got banned because the other part.
Riot was just banning people left and right. They were just like, "Oh, okay." I'll type it next to "Oh, you been banned from the challenge." Damn, again. Fuck. Okay, I have to wait a month. That's whatever. I
can't, dude. I don't want to live in a world where, like, if Faker beats Chovy in that matchup, just the same way Zeka did to him back in 2022. People need to understand this, how dominant have Genji's been. So just this year, T1 has not beaten them at all. Not in the regular season matchups, not in the playoffs at all. Now, if they manage to upset, because that would be an upset technically if they beat Genji. If they beat Genji, oh my God, Chovy is never living down the choking narrative.
Oh no, he's done. He's done.
Because keep in mind, earlier in the year, they were able to, because every single time they faced T1 outside of like the spring finals, it's been pretty convincingly Genji. But this time it's different. Because at Worlds, T1 definitely plays differently. They definitely play a lot better.
And we're going to have to see how Genji plays against, because if FlyQuest plays Genji tough and they go to 5 games, and that shakes Genji's mental, oh my God.
If T1 play like this, they do. If T1 play like this against any opponent they have next week, they're probably getting to the finals.
Plus, Top Esports is drafted like shit. I'm sorry. We're
going to go over that in a moment too.
Let's do the book. Top Esports was just.
Did you see the picture I sent you about them crying? They were.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, no, I
you could tell they were going to go. He about to cry in the corner.
I fucking hate it because they show it down everywhere. It's like, dude, it's like, fuck.
God, man. It's actually crazy, the fact that, the only time Scout and Mako were ever winning together was when they were on EDG together. Now that they're separate, they don't actually win as much. LNG bombed out of quarters. Gala's out $2 million. Gala's out $2 million for bringing Scout to Worlds.
Wait a second. It was $1 million, what, Chinese or?
It was something in the millions, I think, right? Because keep in mind, everyone, he paid like $1 million plus to get Scout there, only to finish in top 8. That's pretty bad, honestly.
What is it?
So the other thing to talk about, obviously, is Peanut. As you guys know, I have watched Peanut's entire career. I've watched his highs and his lows. Well, he's had more lows than highs. This guy has choked in another quarterfinal matchup. He had Chovy with his roster last year. Which is crazy. He was more closer to beating BLG last year with Chovy than he was with Zeka. Just pointing out there. And if you're looking just at Peanut right now, he's supposed to be like the main shot caller. That's supposed to be the guy for Homolife, the guy that they got from Genji, that they paid a lot more money to get because their jungler situation last year. You remember that their junglers who were they? Clid and some other buttfuck dude that no one fucking remembers anymore. Whoever the fuck that guy was.
Yeah.
So Doran can definitely perform domestically, But internationally, this guy just falters every single moment when it matters, you know? Like, he got straight up just gapped by Ben. Like, asshole opened up against Ben.
Sure.
So, before we go over the games, did you want to say anything about Peanut, Delight, and Doran? Because they just straight up lost to 4/5 of the same players they lost to last year in the same position.
4/5? You mean fifth? You lost to all five. It was all five.
No, sorry. They lost to the same. They lost to Jun, Ben.
Oh yeah.
Juan. Yeah. Minus Yagao. So they lost with Yagao and they lost with Knight. So what are we doing here? Because domestically they're the kings technically, right? Hama Life first they beat Gen G. And as people know, I wasn't trying to shit on Hama Life winning, but let's be honest here. Gen G did not show up playing their best that day. They definitely looked off as fuck. But Hama Life did manage to win. It was pretty convincing, all things considered. But Peanut, Doran, and Delight, I always said they should have kept Delight. I think Delight's just an absolutely just crack player. But Doran's somebody you can replace and get better. And Peanut's someone where, you know, he can make a team as good as they need to be and make them a lot better than what they were. But if this is the guy that you need to win at Worlds where you need to advance further in the tournament, matches like this to get further, you just can't have him anymore. I'm sorry, you know? So, but what do you think, man?
Okay. I'm not surprised that they lost. It was the way they lost.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going with 5 games. I was like, okay, it's going to be a banger, and then they lose. I'm like, what the fuck?
Game 4 was straight up cinema. I will give him that. That was
game. Oh my god, that double Galio ult was just
God. The team fights. Oh my goodness. It's also nice to see Galio come back in the meta. Now people are just gonna start to just pick Galio mid against Yone as a counter. Good. Because Yone is too fucking strong. Yone is just absolutely just disgusting. All right, so let's go over Hama Life versus BLG first. And because, well, let's be honest here, there's not much to see out of T1 versus Top Esports except an ass fisting. God.
$500,000. That was what?
Just $500K just to bring
No,
Scout to
okay. The equivalent of Scout had to pay 30 million Chinese or $4 million US to deposit to EDG for travel bailout. Okay, I was right. It's 5 million Gala had to pay, but not 5 million US dollars. 5 million Chinese dollars. That's about $700,000 in American money. 700,000. That was Gala. Yeah. And then some unnamed EDG person let 400,000 US dollars. I'm going by US dollars. Pretty much it costs because the Chinese conversion rate is so goddamn lopsided. Pretty much, it took Scouts. In order to get Scout to World, it cost them $4.25 million.
Oh my goodness!
To get Scout to Worlds, a Gala pays 700,000 US dollars
just to get top 8.
Yep, $4 million. Still cheaper than Team Liquid, but we're not gonna talk about that. Still cheaper than JoJo's contract.
Oh, well, we'll get to JoJo later on. There's JoJo. I'm sorry, Clarence. Geez. Sorry, his name is Clarence. Fuck.
Clarence Joseph.
God. So, game 1, I'll be honest here. Game 1 was all Hama Life, and I was like, oh, this is the Hama Life I expect to come into Worlds. Clean, little scrappy here and there, but then it all fell apart. Apart. All of it fell apart, everyone. All of it. Starting with game 2, Doran just sucked on Gnar on levels I don't even think was possible.
This is what I know a team has no faith in.
This right here is just so tilting. Getting killed in a 1v2. Doran.
That plus they gave Peanut Skarner and knew that you wasn't gonna be impactful on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how a team knows that they got you figured out.
Yeah, because they gave them Skarner, and because with Skarner, That's been like Peanut's best champion the entire
Yep.
World Championship. And if he can't win on that, and he got absolutely just straight up gapped by Jun. Keep in mind, guys, last year Jun gapped him too. Jun is just,
Yep.
I'll be honest with you, Jun's just a stronger player. He's basically just, he knows how to balance out being aggressive with also understanding when to be defensive too. Peanut doesn't have that aggressive upside to him anymore. Domestically, he does, but also when it comes to international competition, he doesn't. Like, Jun beat him last year too. Like, just gapped him too. And BLG has a definite shot at making World's Finals now because, well, they have to face Weibo, and I'll be honest, I don't think they're losing to Weibo, but anything can happen at this World Championship.
No, I think this year, because they got Knight and they don't have Yigal, it's going to be different from last year.
Oh, hopefully.
Xiaohu's dangerous. Xiaohu's dangerous, but Weibo don't have the shine, you know.
Oh God! Hey man, they have the God now. They have breathe. As James would say,
he better be breathing, or else because you know who's gonna set up Ben. Hey, I'm telling you right now, he better be breathing because if not, Ben's gonna put him in a bin. R.I.P.
And then, dude, even with this game, like if you guys look at BLG's draft, BLG's draft is how did they get all these power picks? They got Rumble, they got Zaya Rakan, they got Sejuani, and they have Yone. And all Homolife have to answer for it is Ari, Kaisa, and Alistar. Kaisa straight up just might be one of the most overrated ADCs at Worlds.
Alistar was neutralized the minute they got Rakan. I was like, okay, cool.
Alistar is just
if
straight
I go
up
Rakan
shit.
Rumble, Alistar is neutralized. All right, cool. You got Nara. All right, cool. We got Sejuani. You come in. We're gonna body block it.
Yep.
If not that, okay. We don't scale it well. We're gonna beat you late game. It doesn't matter.
And this was the big game that everyone wanted. Game 4. Okay, so game 4. Okay, so I don't like Homolife's draft either in this game at all. They have this priority with taking Misfortune over Kaisa. Now, I think Kaisa can be very good given the certain composition that surrounds her.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I'm about to agree with you. Kaisa is very composition dependent. If it's not a bad comp, it's not going to work.
And they're first picking it. They're first picking Misfortune here.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't like, and you know, I think Rakan equalizes Rel. I think later on as the game goes, Galio's just way more useful. Peanut on Poppy, he actually can play Poppy jungle pretty good. He actually made some game-changing picks on Poppy, but it's still Peanut getting gapped by Jun. And they let Jun actually pick Kindred. Jun's very good on Kindred, actually.
Yeah.
And then Kindred's also a ADC duelist-style jungler where he can easily outrange Poppy. It's basically just having like another ADC on your team. He can also outrange Gnar.
But this is what I know this is what I knew Hololive was over. You let Ben get Jax?
Oh.
Okay. All right. You're pretty much saying, all right, cool.
We're going on vacation.
Yeah, early. You gave over. You gave give it out Kaisa like, okay, we're willing to risk him get caught out.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, you still the thing, and then they both go, oh, where is it? No, it's not this team fight. It's a team fight close to here later where both Galio.
And this is the problem with Homolife's comp. Nobody does any damage outside of like Viper, and that's his bullet time. And as you guys saw, BLG were easily able to play around that constantly.
Even that too, I could just have Knight and or Ben just stay in the front of it, take damage, and then where's Kaisa at? Oh, you're dead. Okay.
Oh, another trump card, Lancer Spite, Kindred's ult.
Yep.
That's a cool bullet time you have. It would make sense.
Rakan the gauge.
Yeah. Like, as the game went on, I know it was decently really back and forth, but BLG's comp is just better as the game goes on. There's no way they can win this game with this kind of comp, unless there was some massive split push advantage that Homolife got, like the one that G2 got against T1. There's only that would make a difference, but none of that mattered. Now, this Baron call was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. This is the one where I think they got the 5-for-1, I think. Yeah. And you have to see how much damage it is. He can't step up to them at all. All he has to do is just throw out bullet time constantly. And I will say, there's been a lot of random ass Baron throws at this tournament, but some of the Barons that some of the teams have started and baited out, I've enjoyed them. That was really good. The one that Weibo did against LNG, this one against BLG, I thought that was really good. The one against Pain Gaming against PFG, I thought that one was really good. And against Baron. So later on, as the game goes on, it goes on and on and on. The fight mid lane where they kill each other, all of them like that. This was just one of the games of all time. I'll say it was really great to watch. Another thing, it was like this series was way much more better to watch than LNG versus Weibo. That was great. Felt like we were watching two different quality series there.
This might go down the most entertaining series in the quarterfinal. Because what we saw today, T1 needs to be arrested for you know what? That like
doing Diddy stuff.
Yeah, you know, I can't even say it. It's worth the Diddy stuff. This is also Jeffrey Dahmer shit. What they did in
Bounce House. Oh
yeah, Bounce House, Victor Salva.
Look at that. They just out team fought them consistently. This is supposed to be the LCK #1 seed. And they're supposed to be much better at macro and objective setups and team fighting, and they just got outplayed constantly. This is just tilting as hell. How do they not kill? Zeka misses his chains. God, Zeka.
P looks like 100 health. It's just crazy.
God, man. Knight's like, oh my God, free egg rolls for us tonight. Nagasaki, we go on the semis, boys. I get you bitches tonight.
Nagasaki's Japan, but he pretty much I'm gonna say this. They started giving up. They's looking for like some French chick. He's gonna try to look for a chick who probably like Lord of looking, you know, because French girls are freaky.
Oh my goodness! Right, like, look at that. You know when there was the play right there where Peanut sat in the bush and then waited to get Viper. Even when he made like a game-winning pick like that, their comp is so ass they can't do anything.
Yep.
Like this is when he straight up gave up. Right here, he sat in the bush, waited for him after this kill right here. Yeah, that I've been in crowds when plays like that happen. Oh my God, the crowd is so loud. People think it's loud on your comp. There's no way. No, it's way louder inside. It's like your whole roof's gonna come off. So Peanut like waits in here for what's his name? Peanut waits for Elk, picks him off, and it still isn't useful. So, yeah, that is just how the cookie crumbles. Homo Life, LCK's #1 seed is done. Anything you want to say about Homo Life, man?
Homo Life got lucky against Genji. I'm telling you that right now. They got lucky. But it didn't even matter because Homo Life was the #1 seed, but they weren't the #1 team out. It was Genji. He beat him when it count again, like I said.
And I will say this though, BLG have been getting steadily back to that form that people thought they would have coming in. The form that people thought they would have coming in, they have it now. That's bad. That's really bad for any team that's going to face them. That means you're going to get steamrolled. That the level of early game aggression they have, especially Ben. Ben is the best top laner at the event by far. He is just actually just putting his dick out on the table and saying,
I got a question to ask you later after we talk about the second game.
Why does he have small eyes?
No, that's genetics. That I can't help you with that. That's genetics. That just happens.
Motherfucker opened his eyes. Motherfucker blind or some shit.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that motherfucker got a big ass ass. Oh right. Yeah, there's people on Twitter that was like, it was him and Elk were playing around. People was like, look at them fighting. That's how people play around. People, like, I crack out people. The reason people don't understand, but why do you crack out the girls you're dating? My thing is to get them out for being.
You gotta get them out of their comfort zone.
Comfort zone, but it's pretty much to like get girls to stop being self-conscious. Because a lot of times women will be like, women will be too self-conscious. They'll be like, you think I'm ugly? I'm like, hey, women ask me that because it's like, do you?
It's like when girls will ask Things like, hey, do you think I look better wearing makeup? Yeah. Because if you didn't, then why do you spend so much time doing it, you dumb idiot? Like, God, when women ask the most dumbest things ever. Well, speaking of absolute ass scrapings that I saw earlier this morning, this might have been one of the biggest, like, best of 5 gaps I've seen in a while. And keep in mind, Top Esports took Genji to 5 games. At least it took a game off these guys in the last tournament they faced. They even beat them when the tournament started. But that's why best of 1s are misleading. Because that best of 1 would have convinced you that Top Esports was better. No.
And this is why I say do not take that World Cup as the full thing. I think T1. I think if Genji took it seriously, it would have been T1 versus Genji in the finals. If Genji took it seriously, I'm telling you right now.
And also in that tournament, T1 beat BLG too.
Beat the brakes off their ass.
Good guys.
Think about it. T1's toughest matchup was against what was it? Who the fuck was it? Was it G2?
Team Liquid.
Team Liquid. Oh yeah, Team Liquid.
Yeah, G2 ended up facing a FlyQuest.
Yeah, that was fun. Who did? Oh, G2 lost to Top Esports.
Yeah, they lost convincingly to Top Esports that time around. Oof.
Yep.
God. All right, so game 1. This was
through cheeks.
I still am just like, wow, this game right here, even more so than the 15-0 game, T1 realized at a certain point they could just like not fight them and win the game just by stacking dragons.
Yep.
And because people factor in Caitlyn as a champion, I don't know why they don't pick Caitlyn more. But Caitlyn as a champion, you have to basically blow open the game for her to really work. But T1 knew, hey, if I don't have Caitlyn blow open the game, we'll just have her be good in team fights later on because she's still very good in team fights later on.
You give Zeus Camille, Oda Sejuani.
Yes.
And Kerry got his comfort pick of
Bard. Later on, he got Pike. Another comfort pick, too.
Emily's like, I don't never want to see him play Pike again. No. Emily.
Right here. This was, oh my God, they baited with where he tricked them in Fog of War to think that he was still there. He's just walking in the bush. Just good job, Zeus. Good job. Yep. Wow.
This is what I was saying. Carrie can play Pike. I swear to God, if I see Busio play Pike tomorrow, just walk off the stage because JP's gonna clap your fucking cheeks. Like
high or low chances Lehens picks Singe support. His patented Singe support.
Dude, I would not be surprised because Busio, Busio watches stuff at LCK. He's like, hey, I saw Kyrian do it. I was like, who the fuck was it? Azir support. I was like, ah.
God.
That's why the Double Up said he's a very smart guy, but sometimes like I don't know if I can take him seriously. It's just what the fuck. It's like you look at some of this picture, you're like, what the fuck? Oh, it worked in Solo Queue. Solo Queue, it works.
Oh no. Even Coma had his little NAitis. Remember the KT series? He let Carry a cook with Lee Sin support.
Oh,
that's too much cooking. That's burnt chicken right there. That's burnt.
That's like when you make the chicken very good, you put all the seasonings on it, but then you realize you fucked up, and the chicken is too spicy, and then you got everybody's assholes too salty or too spicy, and then everybody's assholes is like on fire, but you only got one bathroom with two rolls of toilet paper. Yeah, that's sometimes you cook too hard. Just don't do that.
I would just say this game was just an absolute just masterclass right here of just how to be patient and knowing when to fight, and when you do fight, you capitalize on everything. This was just, oh my God, that's the best macro I've seen all tournament long. Holy shit!
This is honestly one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah,
this
is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite.
Do you know how frustrating it is for Top Esports? Because Top Esports is a team that thrive off their aggression. They just knew, like, hey, if we just don't fight them, they don't know how to play the game. Because LPL teams are notoriously stupid for, like, if they don't fight, they don't really know what to do constantly. That's why I said T1, so much players get whipped. These players are probably getting beaten behind the stage if they don't actually play this discipline.
It probably is.
God, man. Faker got his ass licked by Shocks after this. Oh,
you guys just see the coach's
probably her little freaky ass.
Top Esports face, the coach's face, during the draft of game 3. He was so angry.
About what they got, actually?
No, he was just looking at the beginning. He was just started angry. He's like, my team sucks. But it's his fault.
Oh, it's about game 3. Yeah, because
of course.
This is what happened last year when they played against LNG. This happened with LNG was the second seed too. For some
Remember when
reason,
I said that?
What?
Oh yeah, just finished.
No, you go ahead.
Yep. So remember when I said that Weibo had arguably the best coach in the tournament?
Yeah.
I was completely wrong. This is there's not even as close a coach as T1 has.
Yeah.
One of the best. You don't get to this level of macro without having the best.
I said earlier this year that when they got him back, it was going to be a good benefit for them. To be fair, I don't think he did that well in the summer meta when it was all 80 champions. But again, I don't think anyone really
always did that. It doesn't matter how poorly they play in summer. When they get to Worlds, they're
horrible. Dude, Faker could barely play Nasus. I was like, is this man broken?
No, this James will probably agree. There are certain teams that just do better when they get to the playoffs, aka World. Like, think about it. NBA, we got what's the motherfucking team? The Heat. The Heat, if they get there.
Yeah, I mean they usually come in as the 10th seed and then start whipping on everybody.
Yep. Kansas City, the first couple years, they were okay in the regular season, except for and then they finally get good. Like there are teams that just get better once they get to the big stage.
I want to point out another thing they did very well in this game is patience. A lot of teams in their position will just fight retardedly and throw away a whole game. They didn't. They actually patiently didn't fight them at all. I was like, wow, that is how much discipline that has to be for play a comp like theirs with Bard who wants to go in, Silas who has to inherently go in, Sejuani wants to go in, Camille wants to go in. Yeah, once he got all 3 kills right there, it's just over. No, look at Top Esports. No focus on nothing. Just
no protection too. It was like protect the kid, protect the president.
And keep in mind the reason why T1 lost to Top Esports the last time around was because they didn't focus Jackie Love as much. I think they realized that Jackie Love is their best player by far, and they're like, we're gonna make sure Jackie gets
and literally it was even to one team fight, and that one team fight put all the people on enough tyrant where they were able to just put down one lane and just end. That's all it was.
T1 almost didn't even make Worlds. That's the craziest part of all.
They were going to beat KT. KT was so doggone.
KT looks so shit.
They did not play that well against KT.
Deft was trying to make sure he did make Worlds.
Yeah,
no, that's true. Deft and Barrow did not want to get Worlds with that shit.
Deft and Barrow were actively trying not to make Worlds.
Yeah, go back and look at that game 5.
Deft was trolling so hard.
The fact that they were only pretty much one game away from not making Worlds is crazy.
Oh God!
And then think about it. Oh, they lost to DK, and then think about DK was weak as hell. Come on, son.
If Faker gave Showmaker some pity sacks, you can be 3rd seed. Doesn't matter.
And guess what? It didn't even matter because
DK
got popped in the head.
Top Esports started the Baron. They lost the Baron, and then T1 just aced them all. Oh God, just everything.
If you want to see the move that defines this game, go back to when they're 5-manning mid. They get a pick on owner. They get a pick on owner, 5-man mid to get a turret. So Zeus just runs away, and they're like, "Where's he going?" He takes the turret the tier 2 top side. After that, they just start trying to force Barons. They're like, "We're gonna make these guys fight us." But they're down in gold at this point in time, not even because they're up in kills. You can see this. They're down in gold because of the turrets.
They're not down in gold by that much, though. It's like 900 gold difference, right?
The fact that you're up by 2 kills and down in gold is incredible. It's
down in 2 towers. They're down 2 towers. They're 2 2 Drake.
Yeah, because T1 were winning on the map as well. Like they won more on the map. They side lane better, and they got more standing gold on the map too. But the one where they lost the Baron is just. What owner's just walking up and stealing Barons constantly? Did it against G2.
Even if they got the Baron, it was over.
The game's over anyway. Yeah.
They were going to die there. This is like you can't really find too many games where it just comes down to getting ran around the map to this extent with 2 arguably elite teams.
So they see him. They have and to be fair, starting this here doesn't really make that much sense for them. They don't really have a comp that can really stop Sejuani from getting in unless Leona preemptively throws her ult or Ivern does that. What's that? It makes the whistling sound. His W, this little snare thing he does. Yeah. That's all you have. Or unless Tristana rockets her out of there.
I do want to point out, at this point in time, the top esports comp is substantially stronger. The reason that they're actually trying to force this is because they're trying to force them to come in, and that with how much not only disengage, but how much hard CC and shields they have from Ivern, they should win these fights. But obviously, that's not how it's working.
The comp, well, to be fair, the top esports comp is a bit stronger, but as the game goes on, as you
snipe them at the very end, just
as long as the game goes on, the champions have longer range. More ways of getting in a fight. But all Carry has to do is throw his ult. He's gonna make sure they have to blow a flash.
At this point in time, Tristana has more attack range than Caitlyn.
Yes, but if Bard throws his ult, he has to either waste his W jump, which is a win in itself, or flash. So, like I was saying before, there's just really no way their comp could even deal with him, honestly. There's no real ways of stopping him from getting in that pit anyway.
A W jump is like, all right, cool. That comes back in like what, 30 seconds?
10 seconds, right? Yeah.
If he flashes, oh yeah, no, that's a W.
Honestly, I don't even know how anybody beats this team right now. Somehow Genji might do it because they always end up beating
Genji might, but like I'm looking
no other team can.
I'm looking at the series tomorrow or today with Genji. Depending on how they beat them, they beat FlyQuest too easily. They might get a little lax, but they don't really get lax.
I wanted to bring up here. This is the same thing that happened last year. For some reason, it's whatever LPL team they just crumble against them. Like, what top esports even trying?
It up. This was not.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying they didn't. Like, top esports didn't. This game, they didn't show up in this game at all. This was just absolute domination.
This is when I woke up.
Why are they drafting Viego? Why? You can't play Viego right now. This meta? Are you out of your mind? Are you a crackhead?
You play Ezreal. Okay, from what I've seen, it's all good. You play Ezreal to a Zyra Khan.
You get
you might as well just FM.
I do want to burn your. You might as well just burn
Faker
your
just
at that
bullied
point.
this man all game.
Oh,
Faker's old. Faker's an old man. His hands don't work.
And Cream got creamed.
He creamed it with the hands.
Yeah, that too.
Like, the whole team didn't show up at all. 369, I know people like him. I do too. I think he can play carries. He's just worse at playing carries than Zeus and Bin. It's just what it is.
He's not a carry top lane. He's more of a.
It's like a role. It's a really good role playing.
Role takes. He's not meant to carry.
I don't know why TN's picking Viego here, acting as if like he's some like mega aggressive carry jungler. Like, TN is mega.
TN is arguably a carry jungler. That's.
Did you see this game? Where is that carry jungler?
You guys are honestly. Any team in the world is going to look like this against what T1 has never.
No. I'm gonna tell you that. Have you seen this whole game? What the? You look this bad. I might not even come back out for game 3. I might be like, yeah, I'm done. So, whoever's my sub of it, I'm not.
The thing though, they didn't even try in this game. They didn't try the only game they really tried in was game 1.
They tried.
This game they did not try it. They didn't test anything.
They tried until that Barrett fight. That first Barrett fight is when I saw their souls just leave. I've seen a team. I've been on the opposite side of a football team where we broke a team will to the point where these motherfuckers did not want to come back out. They were just done.
I do want to point out, Top Esports got more objectives in this game. They had more objectives around the map.
But they were worse at everything else, you know.
The reason they're worse, literally, we have never seen this level. I mean, out of T1 ever. I've never seen any team play this well. And it's like not an exaggeration. They genuinely
all the series that this roster has played together.
Yeah, this is the best roster I've ever seen.
Why don't we feel like every world T1 has to shut off somebody and kills? They did it last year to Cloud9.
Didn't they do this last year against Ellen?
Cloud9.
They did this against Cloud9. Yeah, they did against LNG last year as well.
LNG got one kill toward the end, but that was a pity kill. that didn't even fucking matter because that didn't matter because LNG was never coming back.
Because that's the problem here.
Kill up to older
LNG just didn't show up at all because they didn't even try to fight them. Top Esports kind of fought them a little bit, but this isn't top. This isn't like top esports like we think of top esports.
This is bottom esports. This is bottom esports. You play like this. You bottom of the barrel.
I want to point this out, like I pointed out earlier before we started talking about this series. This team also lost to G2 in the same similar fashion earlier this year. 3-0 as well. Keep on. Han Sama and Mickey X clapped Jackie Love and Mako as well. That's crazy.
Honestly, Carey is unarguably the best support of all time in my mind. I don't think there's ever been as good a support as him. I had an argument last year.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
There's an argument in my mind for Beryl.
There's Diamond. There's Afromu.
Diamond. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I heard of Afromu. Afromu was great. He'd be in my top 10 a little bit, maybe top 11.
So the problem is
he's black, so I don't want to give him that much credit.
Do you rank people by skill, or are you ranking them by impact in the game?
I'm ranking them by ethnicity.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know he was black. I didn't know he was black, man. I thought he was Dominican.
He does look like that.
I was like, he's black. I was like,
and people ask like, wait, why was there only one black pro? Black people can't afford the PCs. People, they're on welfare. They don't got no money.
No, that ain't it. That ain't it.
You guys are fucking assholes. Stop. You know the motherfuckers out there doing drugs. They ain't getting afford no PC. They can barely afford to pay their rent.
No, first of all, black people ain't doing drugs like the way black people are selling drugs. Get it right. White people are
sorry.
First of all, half those guys back in there were probably taking Adderall, buying it from some black people or something. Probably buying weed. But let's get that straight. Yeah, some of those league players back in there were taking Adderall.
It was confirmed they are. Yeah, it was confirmed.
And guess what? Half the dealers might have been black. I'm just keeping it, but I know a bunch of people that be dealing drugs.
It was blacks with crack in the 90s and whites with meth today. That's because of Reagan.
All right, so this was
and white people with cocaine too.
I just want to point out. This was one of the cleanest games I've seen at Worlds, or just played.
Kill games, the
last time I saw a game like this was this year LCK Summer Split Week 1 when DK faced Homolife, and DK perfect gamed them like this. I haven't seen a game like this in a while, honestly.
That's why I was like, that's why I was surprised how crazy.
I just want to point out this is really crazy that a game like this could happen, given how scrappy League is now. Basically, you have to fight to win.
You do.
And the fact that they could win without no kills.
What the fuck was Mako going there face checking?
They had to go check if they were on Baron.
That plus Ezreal, plus Jackie Love could hit an Ezreal ult to save his goddamn life.
He's not as good as Ezreal as life.
He was 7-10. Those if Jackie Love was to hit a 7-10 split of bowling, he would miss it every time. Just yeah.
There's just an argument to be made that SKT has based on this series has the best players in every position right now. Like they were all
more or less.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said that about Faker, but he's
Knight played pretty well in his series too. Knight played.
He didn't play this good. Not as good as Faker this series. Knight has some good games.
Cream did not show up at any point.
No one was allowed to show up in this game. It literally.
Look at Tian's face. He's like, I need to go get my dick sucked.
Every team was gonna look
broken. Cream was like, I'm just happy to be at Worlds and be on OMG.
I guarantee you, because people would say, Chovy's a choker. Cream is a choker. Cream can't play under high pressure at all.
The only team that would ever give T1 a run for its money is FlyQuest because they wouldn't prepare for them. That's the only thing I could even. When T1 even starts preparing.
No. First of all, James, that's already an L take because this is what's going to happen. FlyQuest is going to be like. First of all, Busio is a curious stand. He said, I saw Kyrian do this. I'm going to do it. And they get his ass whooped on it.
Yeah, please just no one play Pike in my games. That's all I'm asking.
If FlyQuest miraculously beats, just say in the world where everything is upside down, Joe Biden wins the election in 2024, and FlyQuest beats Gen G. You know Buscio's going to pick whatever, like...
I will say this. If FlyQuest do that tomorrow, which I don't believe that, I think what the way the series looks is what they're going to do to FlyQuest tomorrow. If FlyQuest win,
I think FlyQuest is going to get closer to... I don't think you can get this far away.
I'm going to tell you this. FlyQuest might take one game off Gen G because they might catch Gen G slipping.
I will say, if they do a miracle upset, and it would be like a 99.1% miracle.
It would be an upset if FlyQuest wins one game.
Yeah. And if FlyQuest
I'm telling you right now.
I'll be honest here. If whoever wins the let's say hypothetically Gen G and T1 face each other. Whoever wins that, which is going to be the finals, the pre-finals, whoever wins that wins the tournament.
See, that's the thing I want to talk about. If BLG beats Weibo, it doesn't matter. I think Gen G and or T1
so we have some
BLG.
This is crazy. We actually have some interesting odds here. So hypothetically, Gen G beats FlyQuest. We get a Gen G T1 rematch. That'll be obviously high. Viewership is going to be through the roof. Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah, disgusting.
If BLG and Gen G make the finals, MSI rematch. Since T1 and Weibo are actually on the opposite sides of the bracket, we could have a Worlds 2023 rematch, honestly.
Yep, that's perfect.
Or you get Weibo versus Gen G, which would be just, well, here, Gen G, here's a trophy.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, just give.
Imagine the series. Oh, God. They're going to get so clapped. Oh, God.
Just so you guys know, this was the most watched game of all time. I mean, of this Worlds. This
whole series?
Yeah. Imagine if it was even relatively close. How many more?
God.
There was like 4 million people watching this.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This play right there where he went. Oh, my God. Yeah. They were just, this team didn't show up. They did nothing.
Think about
it. I honestly, again, there were some mistakes.
That second game, real quick.
What?
Okay, real quick. Okay, go back to game 2.
You think you have rights here, black man?
How long was game 2?
I honestly think game 2 is the closest one.
How long was game 2?
I think
it was like 30 minutes, right? It was close to 30 minutes.
Game 2 into that 34 minutes, yeah.
That's me. It took damn near 50 minutes for, what was it? It was about 40-something minutes for Top Esports to kill a champion on T1 again.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? And
no.
those are...
I'm just saying, Cream himself didn't show up at all. Mako was playing like he was on drugs. He had autism. He had AIDS. He had the fucking Tourette syndrome. Mako did not show up at all.
I genuinely feel like,
and Tien just got gapped hard.
Don't quite. It doesn't quite come down to the fact that people didn't show up. They didn't get to play the game. The game was not introduced in a way that was fair to them, because literally you'll never. This is like watching a NBA team play against a kindergarten team. Like, they even if the kindergartners were on the same level as them, they don't know what they're doing.
James, the crazy part, this is the second seed LPL team.
Yeah, it was just there's
no the 4th seed LCK team. Relatively.
4th seed.
Yeah, this is the best team in the world right now. T1's playing like the best team in the world. If they can keep this up, I don't believe that. Because I've never seen this. This is not.
And the crazy part about it is people actually saying,
just look at this right here. Just look how stupid this is. Like, I'm not saying they didn't play well, but this is just stupid. First of all, they're challenging for a kill here. They don't get it. Okay, so you just kind of disengage. You kind of know where everyone's at.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they go under turret for the same 3 people they see right there. What are you doing? That's that. Come on.
That's like just Megadars.
I think by game 3,
they did not play them out. They did not outplay them right there. Top Esports are just stupid.
This is the only game where I think because at this point in time you have been embarrassed by SKT.
Yeah,
I think
even that's embarrassing right there.
By the end of this series, there was no mental capacity left for this team. They genuinely didn't know what to do anymore, and they just threw the game away. Game 1 and 2, I don't think they played horribly. It was really hard to get on SKT. SKT just never gave them the option.
I think game 1 they played their best, and once they didn't get that macro level down against them and they lost the Baron, I think it was just over.
I actually think game 2 was their best because
no way, man. If you get blown out 0-15, there's no way.
At the beginning it was because they was getting ejected. Once they realized they couldn't get 80 kills, they couldn't even do enough damage to significantly get somebody
incapacitated. In the first game, because in the first game, they were at least like team fighting against them. They at least
they didn't get any team fights.
This shit right here, this is what I knew the game was over.
This is just okay. Well, he just walked up and said, "Take my dick, bitch," and then he just left.
That's like just breaking somebody's back. That's like Bane breaking Batman's back, and then Batman didn't want to be Batman anymore. It was just like, oh, okay. I'm just getting.
So the big thing about this series, in my mind, in Game 1 and Game 2, is in Game 1, obviously they just literally were lost around the map, getting run around. In Game 2, they forced out a lot of TPs from SKT. And you can look at the Rift Herald. They forced out a TP from Faker, and Faker lost something for it, which they weren't unable to do in Game 1. Game 2, it was like it almost felt like they figured something out, and then out of nowhere they just didn't figure anything out.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say a team played good because they forced out some summoner spells. That's just
that's how you play good. You outmaneuver them.
They know how to force the summoner spell out at the highest level.
I mean, it's good that they forced out the summoner spells, but then that didn't really.
It never amounted to anything.
It doesn't matter if it. So the play itself was good. They made good plays. It just the games were never close. Any of them.
50 minutes. 50 minutes. That's how long between all of Game 2, Game 3 before they got a kill. 50 minutes. About 49 minutes and like 50 seconds.
It's weird because even without getting, I don't think their Game 2 was that bad because again, even without getting a kill. It doesn't really matter in my mind because they genuinely, they made a more concise effort to pick a team comp that could rotate around the map more often. And
but in
they
Game 1, in Game 1, they made an attempt to actually make plays to somewhat make the game a little better.
Halfway through Game 1, they were so agitated. They just forced Baron and said, please.
At least they were trying something. And Game 2, they did nothing really.
Okay.
They forced SKT to come into them and actually succeeded multiple times.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is they at least played an attempt to actually do something like their team is normally doing.
That's what Carrier was saying. That's what they had on the thing. But this is what happened.
End it so I can get some dinner because this team is some trash.
This is what happened. Game 1, stuff was working. They just couldn't get the win for Top Esports. Game 2, everything Top Esports tried to do did work.
Well, no, it did work. They made good. Again, just because they didn't get kills does not mean.
No, I'm not even talking about kills. I'm not even talking about kills. Every time Top Esports went for something, T1 had the counter. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Have you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! Where your opponent just, bonfire, ash, effect veiling, imperm. Every time Top Esports was going to go for a play, the opponent had the hand trap, or back in the day, old format.
Game 3 wasn't any better. Like Game 3
was the least close one out of all of them.
No, Game 3, there was some fight left in Top Esports, but everyone knew it was kind of over.
Top Esports overforced them everything because they just didn't know what to do anymore.
Game 2, there was fight in Top Esports. Everything they fought. It's like, have you ever seen boxing where a boxer punch and then the other boxer just counter punches right back? That's what T1 was doing. Except Top Esports couldn't do shit.
Oh my god! Goodness gracious!
Just watch his gameplay, dude. Keria is
look at what Gumayusi was doing. I was like, Gumayusi and Keria, if they're ever on form, they are the best bot lane in the world.
Oh yeah,
if they're ever on form,
they're both the best at their positions in the world, in my opinion. And there's going to be a period when they retire that I think these are going to be the two best ADCs and bot laners.
Man, you're glazing them, man.
I really am.
You don't glaze me like this.
Who's better than them?
You never glaze me.
Well, you can't be glazed.
I mean, James, according to you, Masu and Boosie are better than them because he prepared the
I mean, that goes without saying. We're not comparing them. They're like a level above.
Oh, right here. This was the game-winning triple kill. So all the series, they never focus Gumayusi at all. Ever. They can never get close to him.
Yeah, Faker is just so good at keeping distance between.
Every time Top Esports had a play, T1 just countered it.
But this is like just last year.
T1 had the hair trap. T1 always had an ass blossom in their head.
Dude,
they always had the mirror force that.
Well, what's different about that is this is against two different teams in the same position, both different years. This happened.
Yep.
I don't get it. Like, is the LPL just trash? I don't know.
Oh yeah, either.
So SKT
that was actually great. I like that.
Plays in a way that just like completely demolishes the LPL playstyle because that level of aggression they have isn't possible because SKT going into it already knows I don't know how they do it, always knows what the LPL teams are going to do and just straight up counters it. So the LPL is, instead of, when they go in with a mindset into the game, they have to remake everything on the spot because they don't know what to do now. Gen G plays passively and waits and just waits for the enemy team to make a mistake. And you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that against. Yeah, can't do that against the LPL. I don't know if they're gonna switch that up this year, but if they do that again, they're gonna lose. So I hope they don't make the finals.
The way that top esports couldn't challenge them, like they were unwilling to fight, that's not gonna happen against Gen G. Gen G will actually fight them consistently.
Well, Gen G was trash against the LPL historically.
When? Didn't they beat BLG like early this year?
They literally every time they get. I'm not talking about this year specifically.
Right? It was 4 games, right?
This year's like been the best they've done in the what's it called? In against the LPL, but every single year they play against them, for the most part, they make a mistake against them. They always wait for them. We were talking about last year.
I'm just bringing up the fact that there's no way Gen G just lay around and let T1 beat on them like they did. Like top.
I don't think they do, obviously, but no team was going to beat this form of T1.
But Cream himself never showed up at all.
You keep looking at
players. A walking by.
I want you to watch how many options they tried every game to try to get on the T1. Every game they tried to rush at them. T1 was never allowed. That's what the
himself was so gassed by owner.
But look at this play right here. What the Cream's trying 2v1. He gets up. What does that prove? He still loses the time.
I'm just saying. A lot of the top esports players massively underperformed, and it was just on a level this happened against G2 as well earlier this year. This is against two different teams. This happens for them. They're 0-6 in clutch matches to move forward in the tournament.
That MSI performance, oh my god, that was crazy.
That might have been worse because that's the Hansama Mickey Xen of 2v2. That's crazy.
Not even Cream guy.
It's so disappointing because LNG last year they were kind of wonky if they were going to show up in top 8. This team, people know
LNG was overrated last year. LNG got lucky to get to the finals.
But
they call it BLG,
at least with this, at least with this team, you know they can fight them. You know there's something there. They just choked on a level I've never seen a team choke on. They just played horribly. Cream just was straight up just constantly not respecting jungle pressure at all, getting completely gapped the entire game. Yeah. Jackie left. Man's over here playing Ezreal, couldn't land a mystic shot to save his life. Mako could not actually engage to save his life. He'll be back. His internet just constantly. But just
so good.
I hate seeing this stuff because you know this team can play a lot better than this.
Oh,
and got back consistently. I'm not taking like T1's victory. No, T1 definitely beat the last actual shit.
Oh no. Game 1 was a fight. Game 2, and this is what I was trying to tell Dave. Every time top esports went for a play, and I'm gonna break it down in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, not football terms, but Yu-Gi-Oh terms. Modern Yu-Gi-Oh, my opponent goes for a play, he has a hand trap. You know what I'm saying? He has some kind of interruption. Back in the day, my opponent tries to go for game. Raigeki saw judgment. Oh, I'm gonna attack you with this mirror force.
Look at that right there. Look at what that guy's doing. What does TN think he's doing? Man just baited it. Oh my god, he's so so bad. Oh god, he's terrible.
At this point, it was done because
you think top esports finally gets rid of him after this many years of failing?
Oh yeah, probably.
I don't know why they subject themselves to TN. Cream just never showed up at all constantly. And I understand his point too.
Cream was better than the option that they would have had.
I get what he's saying too. Like the macro can have a big play in that, but the players themselves didn't even try to play the game today.
And that was the thing I was trying to say too. The macro didn't matter because every time top esports, they had great macro. But then once you go past the macro, every time they try to go for a play, she wasn't hit by here. Oh, I'm gonna go for this play, Ash Blossom. Oh, I got a face down trap card. Oh, I'm gonna summon this monster, Balls Trap Hole. They always had a play that just fucked Top Esport. It was like Top Esport was for this play. T1 was like, no, Mirror Force. I was like, this motherfucker.
I don't even understand.
It's like playing every game, and T1 always had Ash Blossom starting 5. I played against an opponent in 3 games that did that. Sometimes, like, and this is gonna come down to it. Top Esports was not meant to win this series. They were just an inferior team. You can catch. This is what I'm saying. That's like the best of one. You can catch a good team slipping.
They might have got obliterated in scrims, honestly, for looking at the high level performance.
Oh, probably. Like, yeah. Think about it. Weibo are scrim kings. That's why they get all their wacky shit out.
Like, so let's go over some off-season news really quickly, because this is the big one right here. We'll go over a little bit of it. Honestly, there's a G2 one. We'll probably just say that.
Oh, I got another one too. From. Was it current core or was it current core?
Yeah, we're gonna go over that in just a moment.
Yep.
So here we go. So Jojopyun, aka Clarence, failed with Cloud9.
AKA Joseph, that's his real name, I think.
He literally constantly late, practically just underperformed. The fact that a Menace outperformed him, if you're looking at it in the full year that they were both given, it's crazy. This guy had the biggest contract and he failed with Cloud9. Keep in mind, they got no worlds, no MSIs. They got no finals, and they every single time.
Joseph Jude Pio. That's how you got Jojopyun. Joseph Jude, Jojo, and people didn't know his real name is Joseph, but we call him Clarence because
he's a choke artist.
If you see the 8 Mile, you know why we call him Clarence.
And his parents had a really good marriage.
Oh my god. Okay, so
and he went to a private school.
So Cloud9 had Jojopyun, and they definitely failed with him. No, not in finals. They failed in 3rd place matches. They failed in 3rd place, no finals, no MSI.
These niggas lost to 100 seeds. That 100 seeds has no business being in the world. I'll say this to the day. I was surprised Cloud9 lost to them. I was like, what the fuck?
You had to actively try to lose to a team that bad, actually.
How the fuck you lose to 4 rookies?
But we move on in life. And coming up for 2025, Jojopyun is set to join Mad Lions Koi in the LEC. EU importing an NA talent. Crazy, right?
Mad Lions, who's 4/5 Spanish, they do not want a Spanish mid laner. That's what I found out about Mad Lions.
They know them motherfuckers is dog shit, probably.
Yep. And they went all the way to North America, aka Canada, to get JoJo. Oh god.
I will say this. He is probably an upgrade over Frescowi, but that's
not even probably. He is an upgrade. I think he's gonna be a top 3 mid laner in EU.
But my one question is, will he be on time?
Will he actually put in the work ethic?
There's only the
problem. I think he will put the work ethic. Will he just be on time? That's the
problem. Isn't him playing the game. The problem is him conforming to time limits. He doesn't show up to meetings, which is crazy to me. And that's the big problem. I mean, he still plays the game.
Work ethic thing that I don't think he'll be a bad mid laner. I think he'll probably be top 4, top 5, lowest, right? If he simply doesn't have the work ethic, they are going to get rid of this guy.
I don't think Mad Lions will.
Year. He better look at this year on Cloud9 the way he failed as a huge learning experience. Do not take things for granted, obviously, and definitely if you're given this opportunity, make the most out of it. But does this put Mad Lions in contention to beat G2?
I think it might give them a better chance. The big thing about G2 is that they don't have the macro to make them a tier above everybody else anymore. I think that's always been their big thing, is they've always had that kind of Eastern mindset of how to play around the game once you get a lead. They don't have that anymore. They can't close out a game consistently. So I don't think they're head and shoulders above the rest of EU. I don't think
definitely not now, because they downgraded their roster with Lebrov James.
You're so much of a hater. Hey, I'm just saying, for the last 2 years, no one's been impressed with G2. And it's genuinely a surprise that they've been doing so well in EU, because they just don't show that level of tenacity.
People are surprised because Europeans' level is just low in general. Plus,
that's
just pretty much I mean, what other roster is competing with them consistently? Because Fnatic, I mean, we know they're sure they're competing against
G2
them, right?
doesn't look, it doesn't really matter to me. G2 doesn't look that good. G2 does not look good enough to be able to consistently do this.
I think G2 looks better than the LCS team. A lot of times they're getting the raw end of the goddamn stick.
Honestly, I don't even think they look better than the LCS this year. But last year they didn't look. They looked better a little bit. This year, I don't think they look better. I don't think they were better than FlyQuest.
They beat FlyQuest earlier this year.
I think there's a possibility they lost to Team Liquid also.
They probably do.
They have zero. They have zero macro. Team Liquid and FlyQuest both had better macro than that.
I'm just pointing out.
Incredible to say.
But guess what? But Team Liquid tends to always find a way to fuck up. That's the thing about Team Liquid. Like,
it's possible. I'm just saying.
No, it's not possible. We see Team Liquid always have some, and then they just throw it out the window. It's not even possible. We see it. LCS finals.
We can also look.
I'm just pointing out that G2 beat FlyQuest at EWC earlier this year.
Well, we also saw that FlyQuest went like 16-4 against them in scrims the day
That's
before.
crazy to think. Well, didn't they have quad? Yeah, they had quad. Yeah. So I'm being honest here. I think the Labrov traded. I'm not changing my mind. He's a downgrade. He's not good.
There's no mindset where you can. He was better than Mickey X this year.
He was. Where was his finals appearances? He had no.
Was he on G2?
He was on Team
Mickey X got carried to the finals.
Nook, not Nook. What's his name? We're talking about Labrov. Labrov. They lost to Fnatic constantly in the playoffs. They couldn't even beat Fnatic.
Why are you blaming this? He's playing supports.
He can't carry his support. There are moments where Adam played better than that guy. Adam
is a top 3 top laner in EU at the minimum.
And Labrov is a bottom 6 player in the world, in my opinion.
You don't believe that. You don't believe. You know that he's a top.
I think he's trash.
You know Labrov is a top 3 support.
If he wins with G2 this year, I will definitely say I was wrong. I don't believe in it.
LeBron being a top 3 support in LEC.
He's not saying much.
He doesn't do shit.
Competition, Zoli's.
The thing about it is, Mickey X is not top 3.
Who's the top 3? Hillitane?
Who you put over Mickey X if Mickey X is a top 3?
So we'd have
LeBron. Okay. No. Let's get his answer because I want to hear his answers.
Okay.
LeBron is better than him. We have Hylissang. We have.
Nope.
Do you think Mickey X is worse than Hylissang?
Hylissang played so bad.
Hylissang ended Vitality out of the playoffs. Like
Hylissang played like crap.
Hylissang is the reason why Carly said he wants to be on G2. Carly wants to get away from this motherfucker.
Carzy is not good enough to be on G2. I don't want to hear that.
Okay, Hylissang played like absolute shit this year. Jun was pretty meh.
Your argument was already thrown out of the track. LeBron, I might give you that.
I'm pointing out that Mickey X didn't have a great year this year. He looked he looked fine last year. I'm saying we have I don't know what's the thing of like you're only as good as your last game. I'm not ready to just throw him out of the conversation. There's no way. I think Hylissang's definitely running.
No. Yeah. Hylissang, he's on the bottom half of G2.
That's fair. Regardless, we got.
He's not the worst. He's nowhere near the worst.
We have Zoli's, Jun.
Got Ignar.
He's so bad.
See, if it was up to me, I would have brought Ignar to G2 because that synergy might have worked.
If you said Ignar, I would be like, okay, that makes sense.
Ignar, yes. Now,
I do want to ask you guys, why do you think, regardless of what you guys are doing right here, regardless of the top 3 thing, how is Mickey X, and because we're throwing out the rest of you, how is Mickey X better than LeBron in any way?
I want to point out the fact that Mickey X was on XL and almost got XL to Worlds. Then
Mickey X was good last year.
No, he was better last year. 2022. That was 2022.
He was better.
Yeah, he was better. I'm just saying,
player.
The same year that Vitality,
Mickey X better than Labrov as an individual player.
What were we saying? Han Sama wanted to play with Mickey X. He didn't want to play with Labrov. He definitely was an option.
It's possible it was an option. I'm just saying Labrov played better this year. There's internal strife, obviously. They wouldn't have just replaced him without asking the rest of the team. You're acting like they just made this and just didn't ask the team. I can't imagine Hans Sama didn't ask for this because Mickey X could not do anything. He's making plays that he could have made 3 years ago, but he can't make them anymore.
That's the same thing LeBron was trying to do.
LeBron doesn't do that.
LeBron don't do anything half the goddamn time.
Mickey X throws. He's been throwing the game this entire year. The reason they're replacing Mickey X,
but at least Mickey X is trying to do something. I see LeBron not doing goddamn.
Y'all are gonna eat your word. I want you guys to remember this.
It's possible.
I swear to God, if G2 loses one split, I'm on your ass, James.
Okay, fair enough.
Diddy.
Wait, no, it's not gonna be.
If G2 loses one fucking split, one split,
you're gonna blame LeBron as the support.
No, I'm not gonna blame. I'm not blaming LeBron. I'll be like, hey, you remember? You said LeBron was better, but guess what? LeBron lost a split. I'm on your ass.
I've never said anything. I mean, I specifically am against using rankings to say how good anybody is.
I've watched this guy ever since he's been on Vitality. He's not.
He was the best. He was the best support in 2022.
I've looked at
unarguably.
Okay,
unarguably, it wasn't even close.
I've seen LeBron play for the last 2 years. Nothing about him stands out. He's one of those supports that he's a good support. He's good. He's a good team player.
I'm just saying, good at stretching it.
He's
not stretching it. You're a hater.
He can't lane properly in EU. And they're going to take this guy to Worlds?
No offense, Mickey S can't lane properly too from this year.
I don't even understand what you're.
Mickey S lays better than LeBron, but that's not by much.
Well, speaking of that tangent, we'll go on this one.
But I'm gonna say this, but yeah, it's
all right.
No one cares about a hypothetical.
Consider offering current corporate trade Yank Hans Sama and Mickey X and a massive buyout for Khalil. That would have been an L on G2.
So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this was a heated topic earlier today. So G2 considered offering Karma corporate trade Yike Hans Sama and Mickey X for this hyped up ERL ADC Kalist. They want to pair Kalist with Targ Hamas, who is one of the worst supports I've ever seen, honestly. He's actually just terrible. He only won on G2 because he was playing with caps. That's the only reason why he won. Because anybody can win with caps. Nothing with a Brob 2. Probably only going to win because with caps, but that's neither here nor there. So, not taking Yike, Hansama, and Mickey X, is that a L for Karmine Corp? Because that means they're keeping Kana, who is a literal do-nothing player. He's just trash.
You don't trade the best player on your team for 3 good players because you need to build around that best player. They are convinced that he is going to be the best player, or at least the best ADC in the EU.
That I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying is not taking 3 players who've won the last 5 splits constantly is crazy.
It's not. I think there's a lot of players in the LEC you could grab. I mean, Yike and Hansam is the only one that I'd be like, yeah, you should get him. But they're convinced that Kalist, and he obviously on top of it, G2 was convinced Kalist is better than Hansam.
If they're pairing Kalist with Targamas, you just take that as a wash.
Okay, what would you prefer them to get rid? So they could replace Targamas and try and go from there.
Yeah,
you don't grab worse players to replace your better player, especially if they're older.
They're getting 3 of the players that have won the last 4 or 5 splits. They're getting actually an upside in that trade, honestly. It's actually a bigger gamble on G2 to get rid of their winning roster for this random guy.
I think there's a reason that we're not saying, obviously, that G2 would even offer this. Why would G2 even offer this? And on top of the fact, KC didn't even want it.
That's crazy. Because of money.
It's not money. There's no.
What do you mean? Definitely would be money.
Well, no, because most of the contracts are going to be paid by the previous teams.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is G2 getting rid of 3 of the players that have won them the last everything for a random. It's way bigger on them to take that guy. But Karmine Corp believe that they have a really good sleeper ADC. I think pairing that guy up with Targamas ruins all that. You have this hyped up player you have right now. You're gonna pair him up with Targamas, Closer, and Kana. That's crazy. That's or you could simply just maybe Mickey X can actually work with this guy better. Because pairing up Mickey X with him would be a lot better because I feel like Mickey X would be able to help guide him a lot better than Targamas. Because losing with Targamas is not going to be useful for anyone.
They have a chance to get Mickey X because he's not going to be on the roster anymore soon.
No. This was something that I remember they wanted to wait for because they used to play together before in the ERLs. Cliff was too young to play in the LEC. So this year he can play in the LEC because he's 18 now. So they're going to pair him up with potentially Targamas, which is bad. I would take Yike over Closer. Closer played pretty bad.
I think Closer has been good for most of his career, and I'll agree. Last year was not the best year, but I think keeping him is not a bad idea. Because when you start putting better teams around junglers, they start performing better. When you have bad teams around them, they play poorly. It's going to happen every time.
The only player you get rid of for sure is Kana. He's so trash.
Kana gotta go.
I've never seen a player get on stage and just play Farm Simulator and they just win. I've never seen it. Actually, impressive you can do that.
I have seen it. That used to be the way top laners played for the first 6 seasons.
He literally just played Jace one game, was aggressive. I was like, oh my god, this guy's pretty good. It's like, what? This man's been straight up standing in lane and farming. So, this is a weird trade. I think they should have did it personally. I mean, they get more of a better end of the deal than that. But if it's money, I can understand that too.
Your goal is to win Worlds. Every team should be trying for that.
No one's winning Worlds. No one's doing
that. You don't give up either way. You don't go and say, "Oh, we can't win a World."
For KC should try winning a split first. How about
you shouldn't try anything. You should try for make the best team you can.
Try to get 5 wins.
Yeah, they've had a winning record ever.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
Start slow here.
You don't just go for mediocrity.
Try to get top 8. No, the thing is, you got to start somewhere. Try to get top 8.
You don't start somewhere by getting players that are worse than the player turning right.
You got. It doesn't matter what player. You got to build team chemistry. You got to have an actual coach you give more than one split to.
You let
your model Canada go after one thing, and they didn't get any better because they got new players. Oh, you figure? Oh, Sacket's not a good player. No fucking shit. Everyone,
no shit.
Even the casters were saying, "Oh, Sackett looks nervous."
Yeah,
that's because they didn't want to flame them because that Carmine Corp fan base they have.
Oh
they do this with T1 too. If T1 ever plays bad, they're just so scared of criticizing them because of the stupid fan base they have. Like that's so cringe.
Karma Corp is the European version of their fan base is the European version of T1. Because I remember when motherfuckers was flaming Kobe and motherfuckers was willing to crash out. They was over Kobe. He was going to crash out. I can understand crashing out over Faker.
I remember when they lost to DRX on Reddit. That guy was like, "I don't think I can live anymore after this loss. It's so heartbreaking. I need to just kill myself." What's never that serious? What's wrong with you?
I remember that kid. Motherfuckers was about to end it. I was like, "Oh no, it ain't never that serious." I've been on teams where I've been a fan of teams where they lost the championship or lost came close. I was like, I never thought about that. Both. Oh my god.
Well, I just think season is getting spicy.
I think that I would not trade away arguably the future of the LEC ADCs, and I can understand why they didn't do it. I think there's an attempt at the very least for them to make a team that could be competitive on the international stage instead of trying to settle for the EU LCS championships. I don't think it's that interesting.
If they want to do that, then Targamas doesn't need to be there then.
They haven't. The roster moves for this year aren't settled anyways, so they still have a chance to replace him.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're Carmine Corp and you just came into the league and you've pretty much did fuck all the entire year, how about we start slow? How about you start progressively winning a season?
This is why you're not an owner of a team, because you would settle
somewhere.
You don't start by getting rid of that's like trading away Wemby because your team's trash.
Your ultimate goal.
Wait a second. Who are you comparing Wemby to?
I'm comparing. This is the historically young guy that's apparently going to be the best player in the LEC.
Ain't nobody talking about. We're talking about trading Targamas.
I'm not talking. Well, no, he was talking about using that trade to trade away Kalist for those 3 players. That's what he was saying.
They get a better benefit out of that.
No,
you don't. Dave, teams have done that.
And this is the thing.
Think about it. Toronto did that. Toronto did that and then won the championship the next year.
They traded for a better player. Kawhi Leonard was arguably the best player in the world that year. He was incredible.
Yeah.
Trading away a good player for a better player is not the same as trading away.
We don't even know if
Arguably,
he's going to perform in the LEC at all.
you don't know that, but you have to take a chance instead of trying to go.
I don't know. This guy could come in and crash.
So let's make the difference between the other sports and this sport. There's no return on investments for esports. The only thing you can do is try to get brand names. You can only try to get brand names. We know what they're capable of. We know what Yike is capable of. Mickey X is already on a very spiraling downward trajectory. Hansama is good. Hansama is a good player. You're expecting Kalist to be better than to be better than Hansama, so that's already a loss right there.
I would say the
Yike is not that good. Yike isn't just not that good of a player, and then Mickey X is terrible. So I think
wasn't he just good last year?
Mickey X, he was good last year.
Yeah,
Mickey X in the past 5 years, he's had 3 bad years.
Yeah, I would just say I'm not throwing away someone when the previous last year they played completely fine. That's crazy.
They played above average last year. That's what Mickey X did.
If they keep Targamas with that guy, he might as well kiss his debut goodbye. Targamas is an awful player.
The debut doesn't matter. So if he comes on, performs on the stage, they have something to develop on. He gets this play, and again, first year you're probably not going to get a rookie that's going to win you worlds anyways.
They're not. No, come on. No West team is winning worlds ever. That's never happened. That's out of the realm.
Every team should be. It doesn't matter how bad you are. Every team.
I would say this. They need to try, first of all, winning a season first. How about having a winning record, doing well in playoffs, and then winning a split?
That's not a competitive mindset.
How's it not? You're winning a split. That's competitive.
Every competitive team should be shooting for the eventuality.
You're not getting that. Even just based off what we know recently, Mad Lions scrimmed Asian teams went 0-17. They're not.
G2 only a few years ago. G2 was getting to finals.
This is possible. That's 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago.
This is how you set standards and goals. Everyone's goal is to win the LEC. We know that. But the thing is, you have to have many goals to get there. It can happen all in one split, or it can happen not the whole year. The first thing, get team chemistry going. All right, cool. First thing, all right, cool. Let's be competitive again. These are all
coaching staff too.
That too, but these are all on the list. While your main goal is to win the split. If we don't win the split, all right, cool. We check that off, and then you go to the next split. All right, cool. What did we do right in the first split? Let's carry that over. And what we did wrong, let's fix that. You see how that thing works? That's how you do it. You're
talking about making small steps towards it. I'm saying your small steps should not be trading away the centerpiece for average players so you can achieve it faster. I think that's stupid.
Well, to be fair, you could actually take some of those players and make them work.
Yeah, but you'd have to trade away the piece that you think is the most important.
If you're going by just what you mentioned with Mickey X right there, then your closer shouldn't be on their roster either, because Holder played absolutely terrible.
I'm telling you right now, junglers and supports, and I'll give you credit, it could have been possible, but junglers and supports are the most affected by the quality of their teammates. Mickey X has a good team, so there's no excuse for him. Closer has a horrible team. There's nothing you can do, but I'm telling you, I would give him another chance once you put a team around closer, because junglers can't do anything about that. You put a team around closer, you have a chance to see if he's still good or not.
I don't know what their roster looks like, but I'm pretty sure based off their past history with Kalist and Targamas, they're keeping them together based on their past synergy.
That's fair enough, but
I don't know if they're keeping Kana. What are we doing here?
Yeah, they have to be replacing Kana. Kana needs to go first.
Yeah, what I'm saying is they have no structure of how they even can win possible. Winning worlds is not happening for any Western team. I'm not ever knocking that off. The goal for most of these guys should be, hey, try to be domestic champions and maybe hopefully do
What is G2's goal? I know they've achieved it already, but what do you think their goal should be?
Well, since they've, but keep in mind, this is context here. Since they've already won those things, now their goal should be this. I
agree with that. They should try and get on an international stage. Before that, they built the titles first. Yeah, so the thing about it is they built a title. They didn't want to trade for mediocre teams that would guarantee them a win. They didn't get a much of average team. They went for very high highs.
They actually did.
They went for.
They did with Yarnin and Wadid. That didn't work out.
Yarnin and Wadid were just they lost the 2 players. Of course they did. They lost what's it called? That wasn't their choice.
No, but by what you just said, since
They
made
didn't
top four,
trade those two players.
No. What I'm saying is, based off what you had said earlier, since they made top 4 with Perks and Wadid and Yarnin, they should have just kept them then.
No,
right?
Because they got an upgrade.
Yes.
Actually, that falls more in line with what you did. Since they had already made it, they could have continually did that because they've already achieved their
Yarnin and
goals.
Wadid didn't make anything. They didn't make playoffs that year at all. They were just
Yarnin and Wadid
in the LEC.
made it into the top. I'm talking about when they were on G2, made top 8.
He made top 4. Actually.
They made top 4. The big thing about it is you always try and make positive impacts in your roster. Never go side grades to downgrades. They trade these two players so they can make it to LEC. They might have got themselves a current situation where they've done good, but they've downgraded the most important piece of their roster and have made their highest highs not possible. Just like with Mickey X. The reason I think Mickey X is still good to have is because even if he plays poorly, his high when he plays extremely well, he could be on the international stage. There's obviously something I said Labrov can't do. At least he hasn't shown it yet. But Labrov is consistently above average, and you don't know if Mickey X is going to get there. So that's one of the big things. Hillisang, the reason Hillisang was always good to have on a team is because 99% of the time Hillisang is running it down. But those 1% times when he's playing well, he can make you win against an Eastern team. Like
but the big thing with changing with that, he stopped doing that.
He did. That's why he's not doing good anymore.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You still would rather have Hillisang on a good day than an average person on an average day in most situations internationally.
Yeah, but at this point now, that's not happening anymore. Because he's played so badly consistently.
Not relevant to the conversation, Ray. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the high highs. You always go for the highs. That's why
I don't believe Labrov has any of that. What you just said, then
we're still not talking about Labrov. We're still talking about Kalist.
Yeah, Kalist. And keep in mind, all this guy's done is perform in ERLs. That's it.
Everybody is hyping this man up. He's everywhere right now. There has to be something to this player. People are hyping up,
and we're not even taking the other part of the conversation. French players always do this. All the time they do that. They'll break all their players constantly, every single time. The players are okay at their highest peaks. You know,
you think Kalist? Well, listen, we could be wrong about Kalist, but they believe in him.
Laurel said Adam at one point was the best top laner in Europe.
He was.
Yeah, he's also French. See,
I'm just saying, Adam at one point in time
also said Soaz was a world-class top laner.
Okay, you're saying all these things, but Soaz these guys absolutely did well on the international stage at one point. There's no even denying that.
He did okay.
He didn't do okay. He was the reason they turned that series around.
Which one?
I don't even remember which one it was. The one against the Eastern team. Soaz?
Yeah, which one?
There's been the one that he replaced the other top laner in, remember?
Oh, you're talking about when he
How do you not remember which one I'm talking about? That's the one he did it
when he replaced Bwipo?
Yes.
How was that? Bwipo replaced him. He was the starter.
Yeah, and then Soaz came back in, replaced him, and they won the series because of him.
Well, no, he got kicked off originally because they thought.
I understand why originally. I'm saying during the World's performance, what's it called? They replaced him, and he did better against.
They placed him in one game originally up front. They actually did better with Bwipo until the finals.
Yeah, and then they replaced him. They did a lot better with Soaz on the stage because he brought that veteran experience.
We played about 2 games the whole thing, but it's one of these things
that turned around their chances, in my opinion.
I don't know. I'm saying, I would say this 1 year won't be enough to tell if he's that good.
It won't be. It won't be able to, because if he doesn't have a good team around him, you can only base it on his play itself. Yeah. But you can't know. You're not going to know unless you actually watch it, because ADCs are not able to protect themselves. To realize
ADCs don't even play the game the same way.
An ADC that's challenger with a bronze support will lose to 5 diamonds.
Yeah, I would try to ask G2 if you can get one of those players. I don't think you just.
I agree with that. They would want those players, but I don't think they want to trade Kalist. I think that's a good idea not to trade them if they believe in them that much.
Yeah. My thing here is KC have honestly nothing. They need to establish something first, because they're not winning worlds. I'm not even changing that in my mind. It's not happening.
No matter who I was, I would be shooting for the stars at all points, because that's just, again, coaching staff is the most important.
I'll agree with that. Reality, though, right?
You can always. Things can happen. Things can happen in any year. It happens every year. Somebody goes from the bottom to shooting up towards the top of the standings almost every year. and
Yeah,
it
but,
only
like-
takes one roster move. This
Yeah,
could be that roster move.
It could be, but I think they need to establish, hey, we can be a winning org first, because winning worlds, they didn't get the MSI.
So I'll
Qualify from his side
explain
first.
in a way. Do you know who Wembenyama is, right?
Who?
So one of the options they could possibly do is they
you
could
said one of the
trade.
options, yeah.
One of the options they could do is they could trade Wembenyama to, like, let's think, the New Orleans Pelicans. They could get their entire starting roster for that, and they would be a top 5 team in the West. They could do that because with their bench, with the players they would have besides him, they'd have one of the best benches on the planet. But maybe not one of the best, but they would have a very good bench. They would make the playoffs guaranteed if they did that. But you don't do that because even if you don't win next year, Wembenyama is going to be a force in the future. Everybody knows that. And there's an argument to be saying he's already top 15 in the league.
Yeah.
There is actually, I don't think so. People say that, but I don't think he's there yet.
There's so many French fans that gassed up their own players.
I'll agree with that,
super cracked.
but it's not just the French people. Not just the French people.
Also,
are doing it this
what
time.
competition? This guy's playing up against ERL competition and stomping. Well,
You
congrats.
don't.
You can
So
beat
the
up
big thing is
players weaker than
players
him.
are not rated. You can tell when a challenger player, if you're good enough, you can tell when a challenger player is in bronze, even though it's competitions that.
No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, to have this level of hype for only just beating ERL ADCs is like.
He's
that's
getting hyped
insane.
for his play, not for his winning.
Well, is there anything else there? No, that's it for right there. I just want to talk about that and the Jojopyun situation. The Jojopyun situation, I mean, given how weak EU's mid lane pool is, he could easily be top 3.
And
Like,
speaking about Cartwright Corbin, apparently Upset's gonna be gone.
No, remember, yeah. Well, he had to make.
Oh wait, what am I saying?
Oh yeah.
What am I saying? Of course.
Because remember, he was 17. He can't play in the LEC till you're 18. Upset was just a waiting room for Kalist.
Yeah,
but what if I would like them to use that as a trading piece. I'm sure somebody wants Upset.
Who?
Do you think Upset's that bad?
No, I think he's LEC level.
I'm just trying to think.
He's not that good.
I mean,
Upset is like.
Plus, he does that. Plus, apparently, he doesn't have the best camaraderie with teammates. That too. Like he takes personal issues way too. We see his issues with how somebody he don't want to shake his hand after win or loss.
So let's think. He's better than Supa. He's better than.
I ain't saying much.
I'm just saying. There's a lot. He's probably better than over half the LEC. He's better than Comp.
Yes, Comp. Oh, Comp doesn't count for anybody anymore.
I forgot Comp is still on the team.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I'm saying, which team? I mean, do you get upset and pay Carmine Corp a big amount of money for a buyout, or you do what you said, take a risk on an ERL ADC at that point? Because if you're trying to save money, you take a risk on an ERL ADC.
They're not. It's not about trying to save money. It's about trying to go for the highest highs. Obviously,
he's not going back to Fnatic. That's not happening.
Yeah, Upset's not that bad. I think there is a place for him. I really wish stupid Kaiser was not on that team. Honestly, trade him to Team Heretic because they got a stupid
isn't Flaccid saying
Flacked? I'm just saying they could trade Upset over there. Upset is better than him. Trade Upset and Targamas for Kaiser.
I
don't think they'd do it.
I think he'll be on a roster. I don't know, honestly.
Who?
Upset. He might honestly be a player where if a roster fails in winter, they'll bring him on in spring. Honestly.
Yeah, but he's tied to the org, so they can't get him without either trading or buying or asking them to buy him out. I think the best option is to try and get, because Team Heretics are just there is no positives to that team. There are no positives. Everyone on that team is past their prime.
Yeah, Kana needs to be shipped to Vietnam in a sweatshop for how bad he played. Not even Brazil level. Get your egg roll ass out of here.
He would make it in Brazil.
Jesus.
Brazil is really going down the drain then. God. So I'm trying to think of an LEC team though, because remember, Upset's a personality that I don't know if a lot of these guys want to deal with. Not just play, it's his personality that can definitely
Cabo Shard.
Okay, I forgot about that name.
Cabo Shot is a historical.
Upset on S. No, they have rule. I'm pretty sure SK Gaming want to keep the Korean bot lane they had. What was it Rahel and Loon or something?
Well, it's not. I'm not saying there's problems. He's not going to every team. There's teams that don't want him. There's teams like I wouldn't.
I mean, Adam's not going to have a team.
It's like if it wasn't for the bad blood between him and Fnatic, he would be an upgrade over Noah.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah. No, it's not even. It's mostly just Razork and Humanoid. He didn't want to play with them, so he said, bench. He literally mentioned it was either bench them or you get rid of me. And they chose those two.
Yeah, and that's crazy because both of them are kind of garbage.
So, because Adam might not have a team because Adam had said his teams don't really want him. Well, after that BDS situation earlier this year, unless he actually straight up won a split, then it wasn't really going to matter.
No, it never came out exactly what he did. But apparently it's bad enough to where none of the orgs want him. That's all I could say.
And people say, well, it's because he's an asshole. Guys, upset are probably assholes. He must have did something really, really, because most of you guys are assholes by default. Like, he must have did something really bad. He must have maybe punched Ice in the face or kicked LeBron because he was running it down constantly, probably. I don't know.
Do you really hate LeBron that much?
I don't think he's that. He is a side grade at best compared to Mickey X.
Side grade at the minimum, I would say.
Well, and it's not just him joining. Han Sama, is Han Sama staying? I don't know. If Han Sama and LeBron were a bot lane, I don't know how I feel about that. That sounds kind of jank, honestly.
Let's give it a chance. I think that LeBron is going to look better on a better team. That's just how supports work. Well, anything that you've seen out of him, what?
Anybody with caps is going to look better in the LEC.
Yeah.
That's
just I don't even care for Caps that much, man. He is the best mid laner in EU, but he's just he's overhyped. And
the reason why he gets to play with all these players is because he's Caps. He wins so much, every player just wants to play with him specifically. So he gets all the best players by default. If he picked LeBron, I'm choking that man when I see him. God. Oh, there's a video where he was talking to Faker. Maybe him and Faker fingered each other. Huh.
You're a weird guy. You know what needs to happen?
Where did that come from?
Stupid Dylan Falco needs to go.
Do you think given how much success he's got them, I just don't know if they get rid of him.
I would say
there's a coach.
I would say one more year. If he does not, if they regress, he's gonna be gone.
The craziest thing is Dylan Falco is an NA person. I didn't even know that for a long time. But
yeah, I knew that just by hearing him talk. I was like, oh, he's not European. I already got
he used to coach for Immortals. Yeah. The Huni Reignover roster. He moved to Europe because he said he liked being over there better. I mean, Caps handpicked Dylan after working with him at Fnatic. So, I mean, it's worked out. They haven't lost. Like, they're still winning with him. It's just G2 are, in my opinion, trying to try out different players because they've already hit a ceiling. Because that roster already hit a ceiling with the Broken Blade, Mickey X1. This is them trying to find a different mix of players to hit a new ceiling potentially. But that depends on the jungler. And the thing here is, I don't know anything about that guy called Skew Someone's Mom. So
yeah, all we can do is hope that they perform to the capabilities we expect from them.
Well, you can have sex with.
Can I?
What? No.
Can I?
No, Jay. Stop asking. The fuck wrong with you, man?
Just give me a little crumb. Give me some crumbs, Chaz.
What the fuck? Nigga, I would knock you the fuck out of this. Champion WZ.
Oh no, that's not good.
You can do what when I'm unconscious, Chaz?
Oh my god!
Fuck out of Champion WZ.
Can you fondle me in my sleep?
Nope.
Oh, that parade? It wasn't going down Main Street earlier.
It doesn't start on Main Street, dude.
Oh, it doesn't? It used to.
It never started on Main Street. It always went down from Barstow Road and then took a right.
People were complaining that it sucked this year. I'm like, I don't really ever go, honestly. I think it's just
it's a parade, dude. What do they do besides march things down the street? There's no performances.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we have our town football team. It's like,
woo!
It's like,
okay. I haven't made it to the stupid. They haven't won in like 20 years. Let's put them on the stage.
Also, got new Yankees in the World Series. Let's go!
I'm so excited. Dodgers need to make it and just fulfill my dreams.
Yankees, Dodgers, let's go.
This hasn't happened since like the 80s, right?
81.
81. Yeah. It's been so long. I didn't get to see it, and it's
It almost happened in 2021.
Yeah, should have happened in 2017. 2017.
17. Yeah, we got
You got robbed.
Houston. Oh yeah, no. I know we got robbed. I was at 2 of those games. I knew we was clapping them, and then it turned out that the whole drum thing where they was beating on the guard cans. That Houston only scored like 5 total runs in 4 games.
I hate that. How are they gonna beat? Do you know that, Joseph? You know about the whole Houston Astros thing? What happened is they figured out
they were leaking pitches. They were leaking pitches to the pitcher.
Yeah.
No, to the
figuring out the signs. So every time like a fastball would come, they bang on a trash can. So
they were leaking strats. There's no way.
Yeah.
They were watching. I'll show you a video of it. It's very
cool. No, I never heard of that. I never heard someone leaking strats in baseball. That's news to me.
Yeah. I'll show it.
I remember the inflatrate scandal. Remember that?
This was worse than that.
And then Boston cheated next year. They did something similar in 2018. Beat the Dodgers again.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
Dodgers got cheated out of 2 World Series.
I'm very aware.
They got cheated. They definitely got cheated by Boston. Yankees got cheated against Houston.
I'm
Houston
sad.
couldn't do that in LA because that's the thing about it that Houston Astros had in LA is a dangerous hat. That shit could get you killed.
Honestly, you can go to a Giants. You as a Dodgers fan, you can go to a Giants game. You cannot do the same as the Dodgers. You will literally die if you come as a Giants fan.
No. There's 5 hats you cannot wear. The Seattle Mariners hat. The Houston Astros hat will get you murdered. That shit will get you murdered in New York now. Before 2017, you can wear the hat in New York, had no problem. The only hat you could not wear in New York before 2017, you still can't wear it, is the Boston Red Sox hat. We got to realize, in Los Angeles, gang culture. You get caught in the wrong neighborhood with the wrong hat, you get packed out.
Yeah, but this is like, the big thing about it is there's a bunch of old like Mexican guys that are the problem inside of Dodgers Stadium.
It's inside Dodger Stadium. It's outside Dodger Stadium.
Well, yeah, we're talking about inside though. If you go, they toss some dude off the balcony like 100 feet, and just because he was wearing a Giants jersey, then poured beer on us. I was like, what? No, I was at a Dodgers game once. This guy was wearing a stupid like Mariners. It was like I think it was a Mariners jersey, and they were pouring beer on him. Like, who cares? It's the Mariners.
Dabbing in the Bronx. This guy the Boston Red Sox fan was beefing with the Yankees fan, got stabbed.
I watched
but I'm telling you right now, you were Boston in New York. You say one thing, you get the wrong. Yeah, I realize New York ain't nothing but Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. Oh, that's racist. And then you look up the Yankees play in the Bronx. 60% of the Bronx is Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. I don't make shit up. I just use the statistics that you guys hate us to use against you. Oh, that's racist. You say that 60% of the Bronx is Hispanic. It is, and then I was wrong because it's 71%. Oh shit. Sorry, I use statistics. The fuck? I'm just saying, no offense, most Puerto Ricans and Dominicans got knives. They're racist. And it turns out most of the crimes that Puerto Ricans and Dominicans use were not knife attacks.
MSK, you
gotta how am I racist when I say? Yeah. How am I racist when the shit I say is the truth?
MSK's gotta go to a playoffs
I tell you the truth. Ain't that a bitch? Most of the black people in Harlem that get killed by a gun crime. Oh, it's racist.
What you okay, Chaz?
No,
what's happening?
No, I'm just saying, and it goes back to the whole saying. A lot of times, people hate when you use statistics against an argument, and it's like, oh, that's not true. Like when we say like certain things about certain supporters and certain players, it's the same thing in real life. When you use certain statistics, people get mad because you're using statistics against them, and then you're saying you're being offensive. Oh, you say this player sucks. But this player only got a 21% win rate on this champion. What else am I supposed to say?
We wrapped went from racial statistics to crime to right back to league.
But at the end of the day, it's just people get pissed when you use statistics against something that they care about. It's like, you can't say black people do crime. And it's like not all black people get killed by guns. 61% of black people that get murdered in New York is by a gun crime. 61% of Hispanic crime is knives. I don't make shit up. Or that's not 61%, but it's close enough. I don't make shit up. If I know support is bad, like Kana, but it's the whole thing. Like we know Kana's a shit top later.
Let's not compare Kana to gun crimes, please.
No. I'm trying to use the fact that you know something is true, but people are going to overlook it because they're going to look at one factor. Kana's Korean. That's why they're not going to look at how bad he is. Oh, he's Korean and he played with T1. He must be good. That doesn't mean he's shit. It's like, oh, it's cheap to live in the Bronx. It must be a good place to live. The fuck?
I got an idea.
No, James, real quick. How does Kana being Korean correlate to him being good? How does Kana playing with Faker correlate to be him being good? How does low housing rent in an area equate to, gun violence and good or bad? How does it equate? Sometimes it doesn't equate. Sometimes it's just shit. Shit is a coincidence.
Low income housing is definitely correlated very highly, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, what if Kana had a gun? Let's think about that level right there. So Kana has a gun, and every time the top laner stops outlaning him,
Kana should turn that gun on his temple for playing as bad as he did this year.
He pulls out the gun. He says, "You better stop CSing." He's gonna win lane every time.
What if
we just need to give him a gun?
What if Kana's just a better top laner?
That's fair. But
what if the police actually did their job and actually arrested? You got video cameras, and you said, "Oh, the camera. Oh, that 1 hour the camera didn't work."
Yeah, that's just corrupt cops there.
Okay, maybe I'm just pointing out
the fact that it's not always corrupt cops. It's not always bad top laners. Sometimes the top laner is just not good. Sometimes they just got a shit champion pool. I'm just saying.
I'm just pointing out if in low crime and certain low income areas, crime is very rampant.
Yeah,
I just want to point out it's very prevalent in our town. The housing market skyrocketed in California, but our town stayed the same, which meant that a lot of the people that came to our town were looking for the low income housing, and our crime rate shot up from a lower half of what's it called. At one point, we were the number one property crime in America. The property crime rate was the number one in our city out of every other one in California. That's including Oakland.
The main point I want to make is race doesn't have to connect with it.
Of course it doesn't. It's connected to poverty.
Because you're Korean doesn't mean you're a good league player. A la a Menace.
A Menace is great. He won a title. He went to MSI.
Yeah, he's...
I remember when the Menace was hyped up coming into the league.
Noah's a great top laner. Noah's a great ADC player.
Noah's still, unfortunately, top half ADCs in that league, probably.
Yeah, he's top half. He's fat as fuck.
You're obsessed with that, man.
CJ, even you just say that the sad part. As bad as Noah has been for a good chunk of the year, he's still top half because
there's so many bad players.
Look at SK Gaming, a team who's been pretty much shit forever. Randomly got a Korean bot lane and finished first place in a split since 2015 spring. That's when we first started watching the LEC. That's crazy.
Yeah,
they've finished first place since 9 years ago.
All that to lose in the first round.
Both rounds to Karmi Corp with Kana.
Regardless, that was a good roster move for them. You can't even deny it. Even if it didn't end up.
That's a good roster move.
No, it makes sense. Rahel was good. Honestly, I don't think that at all.
You bring Koreans on there. You still got Niski. That's it.
Remember when Niski was that guy for like a split on the C9?
That's the shit I'm talking. That's the shit I'm talking about. Oh, you get good Koreans, you get a good engine, but you still got two wheels that don't work on your car.
Wait a minute. Are you saying Mr. Lucid, who can't play macro, is bad? That man
macro unfortunately is like 60% on the coaches.
Yeah.
60%. I would say 40%.
So much.
I do, because that's their job.
You're
is to
not
fix macro
teaching
problems.
them. You're not going to teach them. They don't.
Macro
They're
teachable.
not going to listen to their opinions. I promise you. They say they do, but they don't. Why would
Well,
you
then-
listen to their challenger, rank 1? Why are you listening to a Diamond 5 player?
Well,
gonna listen
you know
to
what the
them?
difference is? First of all, there's no Diamond 5. It only goes down to 4 right now. Second of all,
okay.
SKT
Flawed.
listens to their coaches. Korea
That's
all
because
listen to their,
Koba has won world championships. With
All
And
of
you got
Korea-
to respect a faker.
It's not even just that. All of Koreans listen to their coaches. That's in Eastern
It's-
teams.
that's more of a
they're
culture
all-
thing.
That's
They
a,
listen
exactly.
to their elders.
That's a cultural. So yeah,
I agree with that.
That's a,
But
Western teams
it's
don't
the
do
difference.
that. They use
And
their
that's the
coaches to
difference between the teams.
facilitate. Yeah, the Western teams utilize, from everything I've gathered throughout the years from listening to the shows, coaches are supposed to facilitate conversations and get points across if they're not coming.
It's not
to it.
what
If
they're
you're having
supposed to do.
but
That's
also,
what Western teams do.
But also, you gotta look at that. Most of the coaches, the Korean teams are more like leaders, while the ones in the West are more like bosses. That's what it feels like.
One of my favorite ones of all time was I forgot who it was. The TSM coach or TSM guy that was what was he? He was in a sports psychology. I forgot who it was.
Oh,
Well-
it's that
Weldon.
white guy.
Weldon.
Not
Not Weldon.
Weldon. Oh, Mind Games Weldon. Yeah.
Yeah. He came in, didn't really know a lot about League, but came in, brought a culture. And honestly, beyond that collapse they did at Worlds, that's one of the better Western teams we've seen in a while. They did collapse at Worlds, but I think that came down to mentality. Doublelift can't perform under pressure. I genuinely think that he's trash.
you saw that his ways broke down when he was on other teams. It didn't work as well. Part of
It doesn't, because you have to. It doesn't work if you don't respect him. And a lot of this teams probably didn't respect him because he didn't
They
know a lot
found
about
out. They
League.
said he was a fraud. Most of them
He doesn't
found
know
out.
a lot about League. He never did.
Well, once the players find out you don't know a lot about League and they talk to each other privately and confirm you're a fraud, they're not going to.
I don't care about that. His big thing was he doesn't need to know a lot about League. His thing was to build a culture there. And I really like that. I think that's something more teams should do.
Yeah.
And it's again,
But
it goes back to what Chaz
yeah.
was talking about earlier. Chaz says first thing you need to do is build chemistry. I agree with that. It's the first thing you have to do as a
Yeah.
coach. That's your job.
And G2 had the chemistry. From what I've seen from all the videos where they're outside having fun, Yankee and Cass were never going to work. There was something just it did not click.
Yeah. All I'm
Cass
just pointing out for
Yankee did not
the
click.
coaching is that in the West, they utilize their coaches for just like facilitating a conversation. Because look out there, Spawn's not teaching Core JJ how to play the game. There's no way.
I'm going to
no way
say
that's true.
the difference between the West and the East is all comes down to coaching staff. I think that's the single difference.
Yeah.
If the coaching staffs were, because you import Eastern coaches, they come in here and don't get respected every
And
time.
then they get mad and leave. Yeah.
And yeah, exactly what it is. I mean, the Western players.
The guy, Kim, the guy who's the current head coach of Gen G who won on IG, said he tried coming over here. None of the players listened, and he just left.
Yeah, because these players they're entitled. They got all this money, and they're looking at a guy.
All these bitches got to have.
And the thing is, it's much worse when you have no accolades. When you have no accolades to you, the motherfucker, they definitely not gonna give a shit.
It's just it comes down to the fact you don't just import a head coach; you have to bring their analysts too, because the analysts in the West, I would say they're probably good, but I haven't seen anything to say they aren't.
I think they're good for NA standards, but that's not saying much.
Well, I mean, LS would be a good analyst anywhere, but he's not on a coaching staff anymore. He's
legit retarded.
He's really good at analysis, man. He just is so stupid.
He's good. His and another thing too. Some of these people are introverted like a motherfucker. Like God,
LS unfortunately is not introverted. He's just autistic.
Yeah,
that's not an insult. He really is.
But the issue is that a lot of people that comes off as introverted. He's not introverted. But
what comes off worse? That comes off as weak. I can not. You don't take a person seriously like that. When someone puts their foot down, like. The C9 players, they did listen to Reaper even when he yelled at them because they somewhat respect him.
Yeah, and they did good those years.
Yeah. This year was different with this roster because I genuinely don't think JoJo respected Reaper as much as he said he did.
Oh no, he did. He definitely did. He if you're set up to late that time, you didn't respect him. You didn't respect the team.
Yeah. Reaper is a good coach. I still think he's got what it takes.
I don't think it was his fault that roster collapsed, except the draft. The drafts were really bad.
Well, the drafts aren't just on him. That comes down to the analysis system which is definitely the fault.
And
he didn't
like
have
his-
one.
and
He
like
didn't
his
have one,
respect.
remember? Because they paid Jojopyun all that much money. They couldn't afford to have an analyst. Didn't have an analyst. Just
Oh,
one
he didn't
guy.
have one?
No.
Oh,
no,
that's why
High
that
was
team
a-
sucks. That's the biggest
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, he was just him as a head coach, and High was a player performance dude.
Yeah, there was no
I
analysts.
love High.
The analysts allegedly were the players themselves. They
Oh,
were
Vigor
analyzed-
V2, but Vigor V2 doesn't count because he's on Skype calls. That doesn't
Skype
count.
call, but also the analysts were also Vulcan and Blabber for themselves because they
And then
watched
Vulcan,
games.
and dude, what did Vulcan say? Vulcan said that he tried to get them to do stuff, and they just didn't listen. Constantly, there was
Yeah.
no like if Rebird himself can't get them to listen. It's not even. Just, it probably isn't his fault. You can't coach this line of players because they just don't listen. Honestly, But I don't think that coaches should be teaching them the game. Because to be fair, they're already higher ranked than you. They know they won't. I just don't see a world where you can teach Chovy how to play the game. I don't think Kim is doing that.
Oh no!
I think genuinely every coach, SKT, those players could not have done this preemptive. This is mind games before the game started, decided by the coaching staff.
I think
Every time.
Toba tells that to Faker, and then Faker has him do that in the game.
You
we
think
saw
Faker's
without
not a
Faker-
shot caller?
Because Faker is the shot caller coming through Coma. Because without Faker, they look like they were running out their heads.
They
cut off.
look. So the big thing is when you have that person, Faker is decisive. That's the big thing he is. He
Yeah.
literally, if Coma says, hey, I need you to jump into their Nexus at 5 minutes, he'll do it. He'll go there, do
Yeah.
it, and he'll try and get a kill. The big thing, the difference between that is you bring a rookie in there and he thinks that it might not work out. He's not going to do it, or he's going to do it with fear in his
You gotta
heart.
have the guy to put you like. James had me do this one time. He said, I was playing support. He's like, go in and die for me. I have to see if you love me. You trust me. And I did.
Who did you
Also-
just compare? Piglet did that.
But I'm gonna say this: some of these players are analytical. If they can't see a reason to do it, they're not gonna do it.
Yep, and that's not their job to do.
And that's the reason why Double F and Busio didn't work.
That's why the Fnatic roster can't work. You can tell none of those players respect Nightshare. There's no way they do.
Yeah.
Because in the Fnatic videos, you can see him going over what you said, how to play the game. We should do objective setups. We should go for void grub. We should do all this and this and this. There's only so many times you can tell them this.
And the
Why
whole
is the information? No, I say if you're telling someone this much information constantly, why is it not translating into them? Do they not like what's coming from them?
The only person is translated to is Razor because he's the only one that actually can.
That's what I don't think it's a coach thing. They don't. So for some reason, I think some of the times they don't like who it's said by. They don't respect who it's said by. They're not listening. It has to be a person.
It's the same thing that happened with me and MSK. Me and MSK would say the same thing, and sometimes it was either me, MSK, or Roker or V. If say V said something and Roker said the same thing, don't listen to him, or vice versa. Me and MSK said the same thing one time, but we said it differently. Oh yeah, that was
verbatim, almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, and then Chad, you're so fucking smart. It was glazing the shit out of it. I was like, MSK just said this like 15 minutes ago. I was like, okay,
that
all
actually
right.
triggered me. I don't actually get triggered on shows ever. I usually I'm pretty.
That was the moment I messaged you after. It was like, none of those people respect you. And I was
I was so triggered. We had this like
this
BLM.
is back in 2021.
It was a BLM. Remember that thing called All Lives Matter? How that faded away?
I remember that shit. And you remember I messaged you. I talked to you after. I said, "Don't leave just yet." None of those people respect you on the panel. I would not.
We legit said the exact. I've never like been that angry on a stream. It was that one and another one. I don't usually get angry on
that
stream.
one. The shit. It was another stream where it was us four. It was you, me, Roadkill, and V. V said something. And then Roadkill said it the same way. And they were eating up everything Roadkill was saying. It was like, and V didn't even get visibly upset. He was just like, "Oh, okay. These are people. Okay." And he said, "Oh, these are people MSK around." And he was like, "Yeah, no, these people." I was like, "Nah, it's
no." I understood where V was coming from. I couldn't see it at that time because I was because when I first started doing like podcasting, it was like 2020, right? I was like first started doing it. I didn't know how to balance out personalities on stream. I didn't even know how to like respond to chat properly. I was so nervous at responding to people's personalities. I know how to do it. Yeah, I'd like to learn how to do that. I just learned the fact that if I said something and then you said it and then it translated through you differently, I was like, what the fuck?
Sometimes it's the way it's delivered too. Sometimes some of these players.
No,
don't,
if someone's saying that's stupid, I will tell you you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, because it was like you said something was not good, and I said it could have been structured better, and then I think I broke it down a little. You were blunt with it. I was more.
I blatantly said BLM does not show up until presidential elections or when shit hits the fan to kind of get the sympathy for black people. They're like, they show up. I'm like, can you prove when they show up?
And then I remember I said BLM only shows up when there's money involved, and then they understood what it is. Ever since the blunt teacher that's going to keep it with you, I'm the teacher that's going to give you the truth, but I'm going to give you a little sugar with it.
Yeah,
everything ain't giving you no sugar.
The thing with that is, you said maybe a word or two difference. It changes.
Me and you both said the same thing. I think I threw in one statistic saying,
and I even said you don't have to show me proof. Just show me when do they show up and help black people outside of trying to gather sympathy for presidential elections. They couldn't show me to me.
I do want to point out, and I want to bring this up. BLM, the organization, and BLM, the movement, were two different things that were capitalized on a corporation. The people who started BLM are not the same people who were in charge of it. It was a movement on Twitter. There was a capitalization of the BLM organization to use that as a way to funnel resources into themselves. I don't disagree with BLM, the ideas. The BLM, the movement itself, I have no problem with. It's BLM, the organization, that has used that movement as a way to capitalize for financial gain.
You're talking about the lady that buy and large mansions and stuff.
Yeah. That's the organization. The movement was men that were saying, do not just care about white kids getting killed. There's black kids that are happening the same thing too. Black kids that are getting kidnapped. We cannot find their kids. And you do not give a shit the way you give a shit about little Timmy getting kidnapped. We're saying that little Timmy got kidnapped too. But you need to care about all the kids that
I'm always happy if a black man get put in the back of a police car. That's my thing, though.
Christ.
Black people get
and I remember we said the same thing, not that way, but we said if people are doing crime, they need to be held to the same standard of law. If two people do the same crime, they need to go to jail for the same amount of time.
Oh, dude, remember that? There was that one girl where she was like, I don't know why my brother's been put through the ringer this much. And we asked her, she said he was black. All right, cool. What did he do? He was like, he aggressively robbed a liquor store at gunpoint. And she was like, why are they treating him this way? Are we talking to, I legit, hold on. Are we talking to a stupid person? You robbed someone at gunpoint and you're shocked that you're getting this harsh of a sentence? I
remember saying that. I remember that shit. I was like, you're lucky he's alive. Most of the time, I was like, no.
I shit you not. We are arguing with a black lady who said verbatim that her brother robbed a liquor store at gunpoint and was shocked herself that he was getting this many harsher years of prison.
So I want to point out,
we must be debating with stupid people at that point.
There is
I'm not doing that.
The level at which, again, there has been a problem between black people and the cops has been a long time, and there's a large, again, the mindset that people have is still kind of set in that way of what used to happen, and I get it. There's a lot of problems that aren't relevant to it. Like I was inside of the Walmart parking lot. Some guy was running around trying to run people over. Do you remember when that happened? They shot him dead, and there was a movement in our town to get the cops put out of what's it called? The cop said this man tried to run over and kill people. We had no choice but to kill him. And again, there is a big problem. It did happen in the past where a lot of people did get essentially discriminated against. And it's only been not always justifiably. 50 years ago.
Those are unjustifiably.
A lot of those times, real quick, because a lot of those situations, there's always that thin line. It's a lot of times the killing is unjustified, but the reason why it gets justified because a car is considered a dangerous weapon.
Well, he should have been killed. I don't even think there's an argument for that one.
Oh,
the big ones we have. So with how much historical problems there have been between black people and the police force inside of America, like throughout history, we've seen stuff like the O.J. Simpson trial was celebrated because a black man got away with an obvious crime that he committed. And it showed that if you get rich enough, you can get the same benefits that white people get. That was the big reason that was celebrated. So, like, we get stuff like that. What's up?
No, it's actually a lot deeper than that. It's not that he just got away with it. It's that the prosecution fucked up so much that he was going to get away with it regardless.
But this is the reason that, because back in that day, it was the kind of like a black people were celebrating when he was out, and white, not everyone, obviously, there's no 100% for everything, but a lot of black people were celebrating when O.J. Simpson got out, and a lot of white people were upset about it because he
You know why? Because of the Rodney King situation. The whole Rodney King got beat on tape. And don't forget, a black girl got killed in the liquor store for allegedly, they said she stole something. Nope, they even found out that she had the money on her. Put the juice in the and the woman said, she said, I'm buying it here. Here's the cash. But I'm going to put it in my bag now. Is that all right? Yes. And then she shot her in the back of the head. Latasha Hawkins. 1991.
Or there was, because we were
there was a lot of situations, and then the whole OJ thing was each black person that got killed or that got Rodney King situation. They get killed, but they showed police brutality, and it's not guilty. Shit in New York, and then you got to think about it too. 1988, a rookie cop, 20-year-old gets killed in a cop car. That sets in motion situations where when OJ got off, and it turned out that the cop fucked up the evidence, people were happy because the cop fucked up. The cops had the chance to lock him up, but no, and they weren't rooting that. It's sad that the white woman got killed, but they were rooting because they were rooting to get the justice system. Most people weren't rooting for OJ. They were rooting to get the justice system because this justice system is shit.
Yeah, it was my thing is, even if but that still would have a fine line there. We've seen people get rich like he did and get off scot-free. Yeah. I don't think it's because he's black. I think it's because that's just how rich people are with connections.
Let's just think about this. It was only it's not even 2 generations ago that all this Martin Luther King Jr. and stuff really happened. It's not been that long. My father was around during that time. It's not been that long.
So
it's just weird. Yeah, honestly, he was probably in it. He's probably
damn.
But we're talking about this. We're talking about a situation where America, the older generation, experienced that very large amount of prejudice firsthand in their lifetime. And that's a big reason as to why they're feeling that the world couldn't have changed that quickly. So the younger generation is less and less likely to feel that same way. And by the time we're grown adults, I think all of this situation is going to change. It is.
Well, we are grown adults right now, but
no. Well, I've been talking about 80 years old and stuff. Like when we're old, the world is going to be drastically different because all these things that they experienced are no longer going to be somebody.
And we weren't even applying something to a race. She said, "Oh, because he's black, he's getting a harsher sentence than a white guy."
That's just
what we were trying to tell her is that I don't care if the person's white, blue, green, maybe a Super Saiyan. Your brother went into a liquor store at gunpoint with someone and tried to rob them. I don't care if he's black. I don't give a fuck.
Our robbery and larceny, depending on what state.
It's like, what are we even? Is she trying to justify him?
Everybody justifies stuff for when I was younger. Me and my family tried to justify my brother going to jail for life. We did not like that, and we tried to make reasons as to why it shouldn't be a life sentence. It's just what it is. That's life. It's family things. You'll always try and make stuff in your life.
Always depends on the crime too. If there are crimes robbery should be life.
Yeah, my brother should have went to jail for life, and he did, and that's just the way it is. Even though I hate it, I don't want it to happen. I wish he could get out. I know he's changed as a person, but it doesn't really change anything. He should be in jail for life for what he did because that's just the reality of what happens when you commit a crime.
And in fact, if you're looking at it from a family situation versus someone that's not in that, the average person is going to go, "What? Yeah, go to jail."
Yeah, just never say that to the person because it's hard for them. It's hard for them to really process.
But that's the thing is, I can't justify that. There's no.
You don't have to justify. You don't have to justify it to them at all. She's going to.
She's straight up justifying going to a liquor store and robbing someone. I can't justify that, man.
Yeah, but you didn't say it to her, right?
Oh no. We were just No, I wasn't touching. I was like, we all looked at each other.
I ended up saying on another stream later. I was like, no, it's justified because he committed a crime. That's how I said it. See, I didn't even bring. He committed a crime.
no one said anything about him being black. It was more like, yeah, your brother
him being black. Okay, him being black only matters to whoever is preceding that case.
How long did you go to jail
for? Man, when was that? That was in
Like
2020. That's
2020.
That was like 2020.
That was still late 20s.
He was still on trial for it.
I think
when it comes prosecuted,
I've seen so many people turn their lives around from armed robbery. Obviously, you should get at least 10 years in my mind.
He's black. He's a hoodlum.
When that one kid who saved somebody's, remember when he ran over some guy was trying to kidnap some white girl and he saved her life?
Yeah.
He chased him down on a bike, saved her life, and then in like 3 years later, he committed armed robbery and went to jail for like life. They were trying to, and they like everybody went out and got him out, and now he's like a motivational speaker.
They use those situations because that's why a lot of Caucasian people tend to get out because they look at all the good stuff you've done.
Yeah,
and they kind of outweigh it bad. That's why a lot of times if a black person does a lot of bad stuff, a lot of times that whatever is heavier outweighs whatever's lighter.
I'm not even going to disagree with that.
1 million crimes and you save 5 white girls from a burning farm. It depends on who those white girls. If they're like one of the judge's daughter who's proceeding over your case, they might take off half the time.
Okay, Riley, I want you to know that even though we doing it real grand, if this rap shit don't work, we running up in niggas' houses.
See, that's how it is. I knew motherfuckers. Once that pandemic was started, they was running up in people. I gave everybody a warning in my own apartment. You run up my house while I'm at home, you better go see Tupac. I told motherfuckers straight to their face. You run up in my house, you ain't gonna come out alive.
The pandemic started, people were like stopping trains and looting them.
Yeah, motherfuckers was using the mask policy to their benefit. Motherfuckers was robbing stores left and right. I told motherfuckers, you run up in my place, you about to get 5 shots like.
And you guys know, for me, I love seeing black people incarcerated. I love seeing them in jail because that's what they belong. But Chaz, you got anything planned coming up that the audience know about?
Once I get better, I got more videos. I might start doing like a thing where I tell a story time, like about the time, like how I told a bunch of people in my neighborhood. But most of them, what you swear black people, because most of them in my neighborhood, I know they steal. You run up my house and you try to steal my shit. You better go see a Tupac concert in person. Don't fuck with me. I'm not one of those for play.
So Black, you got any black stories for us?
Honestly, in the near future, I have a lot of things planned, but it's just coming down to having the money to afford a lot of that stuff right now. So
damn, James got buddies. That's good.
Well, no, it's just more so how much money do I want to spend because I bought a lot of equipment because I was planning on doing that voice acting class that I was talking to MSK about. But again, getting a class and going to a college class are whole different price ranges. And I need to get like, I think 4 to 5 people to be able to do it before I can actually get the schedule.
That's what James got money. Okay, James got money. All right, cool. Get the mask. You better run to somebody's house. You about to run to somebody's house.
Just don't worry. I'll give him a massage and you just dip your fingers in for a little bit.
Is that what we're doing, Chaz?
No, James. Jesus Christ.
Is that what we're doing, Chaz?
All right, so we went from league to black people problems.
What's up, Justin? What's going on, man? I'm just saying, bring it back to league. You can't equate everything to race. Not every black person steals.
I lost track of the conversation after
started
talking about O.J. Simpson.
Chaz, long story short, was saying not every Korean is good. Like not every black person.
I don't think even anybody tried to argue that.
I'm saying that all black people are stealing.
You were saying Connor should bring a gun to
stage. No, you know why? Because every okay, this is why I see the LEC. They said, "Oh my God, Connor's going to be the next top laner." I was like, "You sure about that? You sure?" Okay.
If someone said Connor was going to be a top 3 top laner, they need to have their coaching privileges revoked.
Remember when Kiosik sucked in the LCK and then he came over and absolutely demolished us? That's what they thought was going to happen. He
In
did.
the spring, he didn't.
Well, we're not talking about the entire year. And plus, he was the best player at
Wait a
Worlds
second.
right now.
Twitter is so stupid.
Did Team Liquid win a split when he was on Team Liquid?
No, they peaked at they got to the third place match.
I was about to say
Harry for APA.
Yeah, I'm about to say he dominated, but he
yeah, well, I mean, there's only so much you can do as a jungler. You can my mindset is the best player on G2 when they were good was Jankos, but that doesn't mean that he could have solo carried that team if he didn't have Caps.
Hey man,
Caps is the reason they were able to be good.
Jojo solo carried to an MVP with 4 dead ports.
And you know what's crazy? Bwipo, who's never been most people are not successful without Caps when they leave him. Like Jankos, Wonder, Flaccid.
You have to have a good mid laner to be good. Even if you are the best at your position of all time in the West, which Jankos is undeniably.
G2's worst year, in my opinion, was 2021 when they did make MSI or Worlds with Reckless. They were like, get the fuck out. Caps and Jankos straight up said, I don't want to play with this guy anymore.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, it's just what it is.
Team chemistry, gotta have it.
I forgot SKT has Reckless right now. He's on their coaching staff.
They better play him against Gen G.
He's not. He's a backup technically. He's technically their backup.
If he plays if it's where the BLG win Worlds, that means Wei can be considered a world champion because he played games with them in the Swiss stage. Yeah, that's why the guy Juhan is a world champion. Oh, God,
no, everybody, you don't even have to play a game as long as you're on that roster. That's me. You know the crazy part about it was that if LG would have won Worlds, your gal would have been a world champion.
Well, with that being said, I'm gonna go to bed.
I'm just saying. Imagine if LG won World, your gal would have been a champion. Now, your guy would have been on JDG the whole year, running down, get put on LG.
Do you remember last year when BLG beat Gen G? The coach Tabe just went on stage and started dancing in front of the players before the game was over.
Gao is a top 2 mid laner in China.
Yeah,
because I don't. No, he was top 3. He was top 3 at one point.
What they do is they grab wads of shit from the crack of their asshole, and then what they do is throw it at the wall.
What are you doing?
I'm just saying,
you ever grabbed wads of Lennon shit out of her ass?
You're a weird guy.
Oh,
weird.
You played a little Justin. What deck you playing?
So tomorrow we are gonna be talking about Gen G versus tonight. Gen G versus FlyQuest. I have a one-on-one at 5:30, so the C9 podcast will be at 7:30. I'm gonna try and keep the one-on-one to an hour.
FlyQuest at least win one game to make it more interesting.
Man, I think what happened to Top Esports today is gonna happen to FlyQuest today. They're gonna get Goomba stomped.
See, if Gen G beats FlyQuest,
imagine if every game is just like 25 minute stomps.
I think Gen G can survive for 30.
No, it'll be about 35 minute stops, but none of it.
Do people really think Quad can go toe to toe with Chovy for 5? Even if it goes to 5 games, Chovy Quad.
FlyQuest is winning Worlds, so it doesn't really matter. This is just one step on their step.
That's not the match I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Busio versus Lehen. I'm trying to see what Busio picks.
Lehen's gonna pick his patented Singe support, man.
If Busio pulls out some bullshit playing, I can't even type it on Brian's chat. I have to go to Cagel's chat and type it.
Yeah, because you are harassing Shocks.
Hey, ain't my fault. Shocks look good at that damn dress. Oh yeah, lost. Yeah, no, lost box is fine. Ain't my fault. Shocks look good at that goddamn dress. Shit. And Ryan's a bunch of pussies. But it don't even matter. Kagel got more views than it was, bitch.
Yeah, Kagel has more views than the actual
That's crazy.
He has more views than what the actual broadcast, the official broadcast.
Y'all remember when Michael Jackson just beat up Tupac?
All right, guys. So
and what fever dream is this?
This happened.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
Now, this is a real story. Michael Jackson just straight up beat up Tupac.
Yeah, figure best player. Michael Jackson.
That's so funny to me. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You.
Michael Jackson beat up Tupac. Is crazy.
So, just want to say thank you guys for checking out Eating Out My Asshole. Oh, shit.
Michael Jackson beat out Tupac. Is what the
All right. So, just want to say thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Cloud9 podcast. Tomorrow, I'll have my one-on-one at 5:30 PST. I'm going to try and get that done in an hour. Come to this show, not have it too much longer because I have this show with Savage Dad, which is obviously, as you guys know, is a quality show. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Worlds has been great. And we'll be able to recap the top 8 matches tomorrow after Genji convincingly claps FlyQuest into the dirt. Hopefully. And maybe, right? Chovy. Can just give me Chovy versus Faker. World semis. Please give me that. So
because that will be the finals. Because I'm telling you right now,
for sure the finals. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it might be a 3-0 stop. If BLG loses to Wave, I swear to God, whoever comes out of that other side is going to be the world champion.
Because we're gonna get an all LPL semifinals and we're gonna get an all LCK semifinals.
We're gonna hand FlyQuest tearing down BLG by themselves.
See you guys later. Have a great day.
If FlyQuest gets past Genji, T1's gonna be waiting there with the baby oil, just ready to Faker will be ready with the baby oil, just wait.
Faker will be pissing out baby oil into Masu's mouth.
Time out.
Thank you guys for checking out this episode. Whipple's he's getting his ass fisted by Gumayusi, digging all his shit out. Oh,
hey, yo, Zane's about to go gobbo and just
godlike on Whipple's butthole. Holy crap!
I swear to God, if FlyQuest beats Genji, just give T1 the trophy. Let's not even play this.
Genji. I'm burning all my Genji jerseys. I'm done. Can't do it. Losing to NA. Holy shit. Burn me. I can't even. I'm not gonna do the podcast tomorrow if they lose. I'm actually just hanging myself. I can't live in a world that I'm not living in that world. Chovy lost to Quad in a best of 5.
It's bad enough when 100 C's lost to a PSG, but that was actually. You can actually see that happening.
I'm being honest here. Them jerseys might be burnt, and I might be hanging myself. So, God, I'm not going on the show then.
FlyQuest. Because everyone's like, "Oh my God, FlyQuest can actually beat Genji."
No, and I'll be honest here. They're really not. If people are just doing copium, Chovy will stomp Quad. Actually, here.
No, who was it? It was Zales. Like, oh, there's a chance. I was like, first of all. I was like, wait a second. When's the last time that LCST beat and I remember
last time it was a C9 2018 Worlds. They beat Africa Freaks in top 8. Yeah. That might, and outside of MSI with Team Liquid, there's not been many times an LCS team has actually ever beaten an LCK team in a best of 5. There's not many.
When's the last time an LCS team got to the finals?
Never.
Yeah. Not even the inaugural year they got to the finals.
TSM made top 4 in Season 1 World.
How the fuck who the fuck they lose to in the finals?
Fnatic.
Jesus Christ. I think Fnatic Fnatic got the first.
Yeah, and even at Season 1 Worlds, it was so jank they didn't even have LCK or LPL teams because they didn't have servers yet. And then once they had a server, they've been dominating ever since.
Oh no, GGs. It was GGs. It was one of those where,
All right, everyone. So thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Cloud9 podcast. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like, always helps out, and comment down below. Hit the notification bells